The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week is brought to you by SARTA, Friends and Family Credit Union, CKP Heating and Cooling, Altman Health System, Sugardale Meats, Old Carolina Barbecue, Sarshone Automotive Group, Menchie's Brothers, Novellus, Papa Gyros, and AultCare, because you matter.
Welcome to the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week here at Canton Central Catholic High School, Lake Catholic High School in town for a mini Holy War, as we're excited to bring this game to you live on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel. Billy Beebe, Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries on stats tonight. We're excited to bring you this one. Coach, we know it's week 9 by two things. Of course, we'll tell you it's week 9. We know the records. And the weather tonight is we got a crisp chill. We'll be sitting in the 50s all night. Feels like football weather, very generic saying, but it's true tonight. And a good matchup as a 8-0 Lake Catholic High School team. The Cougars playing very good football this season. And for Canton Central Catholic, started slow, but they're hot as of late, going 4-1 in their last 5.
Yeah, we've got a football team that came out of the gate well, and we'll share some of the statistics about Lake Catholic with you during the contest. But the numbers are impressive. They run for 150 yards a game. They throw for 225 yards a game. Every statistic matched against opponents played is very much in their favor, and they've got a quarterback, wide receiver, running back with impressive statistics for anybody anywhere. Going into the 9th game of the season. On the other hand, Central Catholic of Canton, they came off with a slow start. We're 0-3, but they've done an amazing job, and that speaks to the coaching and the quality player they have of reversing their fortune, because they've won 4 of the last 5. And they're sitting at 4-4 and looking to finish the season with a winning record and a better spot, perhaps in the playoffs,
right.
Versus a different opponent. But we're going to have a good game tonight. We got green and white all over the place.
Definitely.
Minter Lake's in the white jersey, and Central Catholic here is in the green jersey, and we look forward to bringing you the action.
For Lake Catholic High School, Frank Trinetti, their senior quarterback, he's a record breaker. He's the star of the show on their offense. Of course, high school football, it takes 11, but he's been their guy this season.
Yep.
How do you utilize a guy that plays so well, especially at the quarterback position, has so much talent to run, to pass, to make plays?
Well, the thing that you have to do is you have to use the talent that you have, and they've got a superstar type guy at the quarterback position, and I mean he's completing 71% of his passes, for goodness sakes.
Yeah.
I've known quarterbacks that couldn't complete that percent against air. Nobody defending the throw. So I mean, but he's completing 71% of his passes against people who are being defended. So he's got to be extremely accurate. I think he's only got 2 interceptions, on the air and 19 touchdowns. I mean, the difference between the positives and negatives about him is enormous.
Yeah, absolutely.
The superlatives, are far outweighing anything negative about the young man. Not that there is anything, but I look forward to watching him play. I've not seen him play, but boy, his numbers are impressive.
Yeah, Frank Trinetti, a name to watch, a guy to watch for the Lake Catholic High School Cougars. On the other side, for Central, Coach, talk about their schedule a little bit, and just the idea of, hey, you start with a tough schedule.
Yep.
That's how they ended up 0-3. They stacked that schedule tough early, and it helped them in the later part of the season. We've heard this theory from multiple different coaches, and it seems to work out sometimes.
Well, that's been traditional with Central Catholic, in terms of my experience with them dating back to 80, because, they scheduled Canton McKinley regularly. I was close friends and knew Lo Kleinfelder very well. And Lo would be very honest about it. When he felt like he had a really good football team, he'd want on the schedule. And when he thought that he was maybe in a little bit of a dry spell and maybe not possessing the talent that could match up, then he would want off the schedule. So, he would be on and off the schedule as he saw fit, and Truckers continue to do that. He's not going to shy away from successful programs and people that can make him better. And oh, by the way, the outcome might not be what you want, but playing quality opposition makes you better. And that counts, middle of the season, as shown by their recent trend, and going on into the playoffs.
As we said, 4-1 in their last 5. Very excited to have you with us live on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. You're already watching us on YouTube. Why not subscribe? It's the best thing you can do to stay up to date with everything happening in the Stark County area and beyond here on 1480 WHBC. A lot of football, some exciting football for you tonight. We'll also talk about Food Fight, which is going on right now. That'll get you ready for Massillon-McKinley. Maybe you're donating for Massillon. Maybe you're donating for McKinley. Either way, you're helping Stark County when you donate to the Stark County Hunger Task Force. We have an interview at halftime to do more on that. We'll have commercials going on for information on that. Stay with us here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
So what exactly is happening at the Hall of Fame Village? Find out Monday on Canton's Morning News as I sit down with Village CEO Michael Crawford. Join us at 9:05 Monday morning. Pam Cook and Michael Crawford on 1480 WHBC.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Live from Lowell Kleinfelter Field, Canton, Ohio, Billy Beebe, Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries with you tonight as Lake Catholic High School has traveled to Canton Central Catholic High School for some Week 9 football action, year 80 of high school football on 1480 WHBC. We appreciate everybody who's watching us live on the YouTube channel. If you're already watching, may as well subscribe, get more great content. Check out our game next week. We'll be live from Canton South High School and everything else going on in the Stark County area. Joined now by Coach Thom McDaniels. Coach, Week 9 of high school football, there's a crisp in the air. We are excited to get at it. Two very interesting teams with two very interesting paths this season, starting with Lake Catholic High School. We talked about a little bit about them in the pregame, an impressive 8-0, and for us in the Stark County area, gauging how good they are. For me, I saw them defeat CVCA 33-7, and CVCA dominated Northwest, a very good local team last week. So a lot of respect right now for Lake Catholic High School. Take us inside that mindset, though. This is an undefeated team at 8-0. How does the team kind of take that into the next week?
Well, when you're 4-4 as Central Catholic is, going against an undefeated and a team that sits atop the computer standings in whatever division it is that they're in, it's a tall task, and the most important thing is to get off to a good beginning and to keep this thing as close as possible for as long as possible.
Yeah.
Mentor Lake Catholic is really, really good on both sides of the ball, and they have the potential in the scores of their the games that have been played. They've had running clocks in a significant number of the games that they've played because they've been ahead by that much. So I it's not necessarily something that you would tell the kids, let's just keep this close as long as we can, but I think from a coaching standpoint, that might be, coach's locker room conversation. That's a goal. That's a goal, because the longer that we can keep it close, the more it benefits us, because, lady, let's give her a place to sit here tonight. So I'm anxious and excited to see how they handle, what is reputed to be and is legitimately a really fine opponent coming into Stark County tonight in Lake Catholic.
Both teams going to be rocking green and white. Central in the green uniforms with white numbers. It'll be Lake Catholic High School, the Cougars, with white uniforms, green pants. Coached by Marty Gibbons, Lake Catholic Cougars are 8-0 this season. They are an independent, and then for Canton Central Catholic, they are 4-4 overall this season, coached by Jeff Lindesmith. Very close to the Novellis kickoff here on 1480 WHBC, the live AultCare YouTube game of the week. Proud to bring that to you. And Coach McDaniels, you've had a long career in coaching and a distinguished one at that, a Hall of Fame one at that. You are familiar with both these coaches and their coaching trees.
Yes.
Coach Kleinfelter,
yes,
and now Coach Jeff Lindesmith at Canton Central Catholic. Going to be a great matchup between these two coaches, too, as well as the players.
That's right. Jeff was an assistant for Lowell for a long time, and when Lowell stepped down, it made sense, for Trucker to become the head football coach. And, Marty Gibbons is one of many in the Gibbons family to be in the coaching profession.
Our Novellis kickoff up and underway. Central deferred to Lake Central Catholic. They'll take it first, and it looks like they'll start off at the 35-yard line. That's where the Cougars will take over and get this one going.
The long squib kick off suggests that they had a lot of respect for their return team and return personnel. That always messes with the team's timing of the kickoff return, but it gives them pretty good field position to start the game. They're sitting pretty on the 37-yard line.
We'll get to our CKP heating and cooling starting lineups in just a second. Pistol formation to start for the Cougars. Frank Trinetti, the record-breaking quarterback for the Cougars. It's a give and go early to their running back.
22.
It's Caden Boys.
Early carry for Boys there. The 5'9 senior will also play a little bit of defensive back for the Cougars. Our CKP heating and cooling starting lineups there. They're keeping the big dogs comfortable here in Stark County. And as we said, Trinetti, a name to watch and a playmaker for this offense, and the rest of the names to know. Trinetti back to pass. He's looking over the middle. He completes his pass. The Crusaders there quickly, but wrapped up and brought down. That's a fresh set of downs for the Cougars.
Yeah, Mentor Lake Catholic in an empty formation, which suggests that we're going to throw the ball. Quarterback being the only back in the backfield. Deployed 3 receivers to one side, 2 to the other, and reads the coverage and eyeballs his guy and put the ball on the money.
The central defense here, led by senior captain Jonathan Stengel, one of those names to know for the Crusaders. John Hofficker, also a big name at linebacker. Cross Nemo will get his second straight catch on that right side. And it's always nice, Coach, when I can preview a player like Trinetti, and then immediately he starts showing off something like that arm we were just talking about.
Yes, and it wasn't long for us to see our first bubble screen of the evening. That goes hand in hand with those shotgun alignments and formations.
Trinetti, 6'3", 185, a senior. Coach Gibbons has leaned on him heavily over the years, and it has paid off. Pistol formation. Now we'll get some receiver movement on both sides. It's a snap, pitch out to that left side. Trying to get to that sideline, and a nice tackle for the Crusaders.
Jimmy Gibbons.
And it was Gibbons on the carry. Jimmy Gibbons getting an opportunity there to get it going, and the Crusaders, their first, I would say, pretty good defensive play there.
Nice open field tackle. I think that was number 89 for Central.
Yes, that was number 89, correct, Coach?
Yep.
That was
stopped them for little or no gain, 3rd and 5.
Connor Thomas on the tackle there for the Crusaders. Trinetti, 3 right, 2 left, plenty of options, throws it high and away, incomplete. And a nice break for the Crusaders. It looked like the Cougars really moving that thing quickly. Central Catholic steps up.
Again, in the empty formation, the quarterback can't afford to hold the ball long. He's only got 5 pass protectors available for him, and he's got 5 guys involved in the route. So it's going to be a catch the snap and deliver the ball promptly and quickly. And I believe that's a repeat play of the completion they had earlier in this possession.
4th down for the Cougars. They'll put it in the hands of their quarterback and go for it. Trinetti, shotgun. Man movement early, but no flag. Rolling to his right. Time to throw. Trinetti steps up, running out of time. Wrapped up and tossed down. Central Catholic ends that drive. Number 54, Isaac Ray, says, give us that ball back. We want it. And you see Coach Trucker there pumped up. Trinetti, plenty of time to make something happen there, Coach, but he got bounced to that outside.
Well, he sprinted out, too, which shrinks the field. You don't have the left side of the field available to yourself when you sprint out to the right. And they flood routes when they do that, but Central had great coverage. That was a coverage sack. Couldn't find anybody open.
The Crusader offense led by senior quarterback Lou DeRuza. Give up the middle in the first carry of the day. Not going to go far for Spittler.
Little trouble with the exchange between quarterback and running back. The running back was able to recover the ball. Actually, a little bit of a loss on the play, but they got to clean that up. That quarterback center exchange has to be automatic and automatic done well.
It'll be shotgun for DeRuza. His running back on just in front of him on the right. 1 receiver right, 3 left. DeRuza back to pass. He's staring that right side down. Now it's the middle. Throws, caught, complete, up at the 35-yard line. Wrapped up and brought down quickly. Connor Thomas, busy on defense, busy on offense.
DeRuza had great velocity on the throw. One of the Mentor Lake DBs broke on the ball, and the ball beat him to the receiver, but not by much. Nice throw, very accurate, and with a lot of velocity on that throw in the middle of the Lake Catholic defense.
Looked like DeRuza took a 5-step drop on that one. He had tons of room. Shotgun formation again. DeRuza gives to his running back. His running back trying to make something happen. Breaks through the pile and drags a couple defenders with him. Luke Spittler taking the defense with him on that trip. And that's a fresh set of downs.
A little premature for me to say this at this particular point, but I'm going to say it anyway. They stop a team at midfield on 4th down, then they get the ball on offense, and they generate 2 quick first downs, one via pass and one with a great effort, second effort run. And they're sitting inside the 20-yard line, and things are going Central Catholic's way right now.
We'll get to our starting lineups for offense and defense, brought to you by CKP in just a second. DeRuza, Thomas on an end around. Now we'll cut it back inside. Age-old saying there, Coach, just put the ball in the hands of your best player, whether he's a receiver, a tight end, a running back, and they put the receiver in motion and get it to him.
Yeah, and Central's not afraid to use motions and multiple formations, which I'm a believer of that. You have few plays, but there's no such thing as too much motion or too many formations as long as your kids can handle that. But it gives the defense a problem. The motions and the multiple formations.
Our starting lineups brought to you by CKP Heating and Cooling. The Crusaders led by that receiving core of Peterson, Noggle, Scott, and Thomas. It's a give to Spittler. He's trying to get a little more room on that right side. Only got 4 on the first carry. Probably even less on that one. A 3rd and 5 coming up.
Yep. Off tackle play to the right. It was congested. A nice job by Mentor Lake Catholic of winning the line of scrimmage on that particular play and setting up this 3rd and 5. Down and distance situation, but we're in 4-down territory, we would imagine, too, if they would choose to go for it on 4th down.
The Lake Catholic defense led by Zimorowski on the defensive line. They're brought to you by CKP Heating and Cooling. That pass to the outside quick, but in and out of the hands of Connor Thomas. I don't think he was ready for it.
Yeah, it was. They had trips formation into the boundary, which is unusual, and they just wanted to swing the ball on a swing route to the back and let him take advantage of the blocking of the 2 wideouts. The ball was a little bit behind him, a little bit inaccurate, and could have been caught, should have been caught, but we could have given him a better pass there too. But they're gonna go for it on 4th down.
Canton, Ohio. The site for tonight's action, Canton Central Catholic High School, Lowell Kleinfelter Field. Coach McDaniels mentioned the legend earlier and what he passed on to Coach Linda Smith now, the state champion coach, as the Cougars jumped on that outside left. And quite the break early for the Crusaders, and they're taking advantage of it, Coach.
Offside.
Well,
See if that gets them. Yeah, that'll get them a fresh set of downs.
Yeah, I think it was exactly enough needed. Not a foot too much or too little. Exactly enough to give them a first down and goal on the 9-yard line. Good beginning again for Central Catholic.
They'll try to get it in from the 9. Plenty of receivers for DeRuza to make a play here with. And instead, he'll give it to his running back. That's the play call, and not much there. The Cougar defensive line that we just highlighted, one of the leaders on that defensive line is Danny Zimorowski, the sophomore, making a difference for the Cougars. And Coach Linda Smith got to create a little bit of strategy here, Coach, especially when they jam you up like that.
Well, and Central Catholic's statistics suggest that they're going to run the ball more than they're going to throw it. Not unusual that they're running it.
It's a give, end around. Got to find room to do something, and it's not there as the Cougars catch up quickly. Number 11 on the carry for Canton Central Catholic. That is Hunter Baus.
Minter showed good speed to defend the left edge of their defense. Central couldn't get around the corner. Central's not afraid to probe inside, outside in the running game, and they're going to be patient with it.
One of the captains for the Crusaders, 6'8", 310 senior Jonathan Stangl, number 70. You'll see him on the offense and defensive line. DeRuza, back to pass. It's over the middle. It's picked off. He leapt in the air, tried to get that ball over the line, but they got playmakers too, and the Cougars spoil an opportunity for the Crusaders early. An impressive interception there. And it was Zembrowski.
The nose tackle. The nose tackle.
Danny Zembrowski, we just highlighted him, Coach, as a guy that would be a young player, but a guy that would make a difference.
Central had all the other receivers release and carry defenders into the secondary. The back was checking himself just beyond the line of scrimmage. Wasn't a screen play, but it was going to be like a check down, hoping that he didn't have coverage from the linebacker. But the nose tackle saw what was happening and has an interception.
Cougars back out on offense. First give is to their running back, and a running a defender over. Good carry for Caden Boys, a very physical carry. And Boys, not the biggest back they have at 5'9", 170, but if you got a running back that's going to run through people, I imagine he'll get plenty of carries.
And I'm not sure he's even their starting running back. He's not listed as a starter, but he's got the lion's share of the carries so far.
9 yards on that carry. Two receivers rolling in for some extra blocking help. Trinetti drops back to pass, under pressure again, delivers it high, in and out of the hands of his receiver. A drop there for Patrick Radigan. But we continue to see the impressive play and that arm from Frankie Trinetti. 4 minutes remaining in this first quarter. Time is flying. Still no score.
Isaac Ray had good pressure on Trinetti. Didn't cause the ball to be thrown high, but he had pressure, and Trinetti had an awareness of him as he threw the ball.
You're watching our live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week on 1480 WHBC YouTube channel. Year 80 of high school football with 1480 WHBC. Trinetti, give to his back, up the middle, trying to grab a couple extra yards with a leap.
He's got it.
That'll get him a first. And that was number 6. They're going back to Jimmy Gibbons for that one, and Gibbons will remain in as the running back. He'll get another carry as the running back. Bounces it left. Room on that outside sideline, rolling down the sideline, and finally knocked out of bounds. That first tackle didn't wear Jimmy Gibbons out. He got back up, got the ball again, and took it down the sideline into Central Catholic territory just barely. They're at the 49.
Men are using tempo. The last play was without a huddle, and this play they're quick at the line of scrimmage, so they're changing tempo.
Trinetti drops, throws it high and complete to his receiver on that sideline. Nope, came out of it. Ball rolling around there. Another opportunity for something big, and Cross Nemo couldn't make the play.
Yeah, that's 2 drop passes in this possession, something that I'm certain doesn't happen often. When you throw the ball that much, you don't get completions without the catches.
A new life for the Guardians as they are in Game 4 of the NLCS tonight. Normally on our radio, 1480 WHBC. Tonight they are on Mix 94.1. Does it give to the running back?
Nothing.
And the Crusaders sniff it out quickly and get to Jimmy Gibbons fast to kind of slow the Cougars down a little bit. They were really gaining some steam.
Sets up a 3rd and long. It's midfield, so again, I don't know the team well enough to know whether or not that's 4-down territory for them, but they're on the central side of the 50, 3rd and 10, and again, they've got the quarterback, the route design, and the receivers to handle a 3rd and long.
3rd and 9, Trinetti got a man in motion, fakes the give, drops back, time, dumps it quickly, receiver reels it in, looking for that first down, got it. Sideline, rolling down the sideline, plenty of room, 10 more to go, and he's wrapped up and brought down at the 10. DJ Spears goes playmaking, and Trinetti had a similar pass to make that DeRuza did.
Yes.
But he made it. Under pressure, he leapt in the air and delivered.
And that was a screen pass. It was well executed. And they faked a reverse, by the wide receiver before the play action pass occurred.
Trinetti looking right, gets it to his running back, bobbles the ball, drops the ball, it's loose. We'll wait for a call into the hands of the Crusaders. An opportunity fumbled, literally, as they dumped it to Jimmy Gibbons. He bounced it all around in the air, and it finally came down. We'll wait for an official call here, but it looks like the Crusaders have it.
I was wondering, because that was actually a lateral. It looked like a lateral.
And they will call it an incomplete pass.
My goodness.
Tough break for Central.
I actually thought it was a backward pass. It is. He was on the 15, and he caught it on the 17. Oh, my goodness. That's they don't have the benefit of replay, but
new life for the Cougars here.
It's an officiating mistake.
We mentioned our radio station, 1480 WHBC, our Altman Health Systems radio game of the week. If you tune in on WHBC.com, is Jackson at McKinley. The Pups trying to win the Federal League outright tonight. Our Sarda stream game on WHBCSports.com is Lake at Hoover. Federal League action all around. Flip to the right. It's Boyce trying to duck it back inside, and nothing there for Caden Boyce. So a key third down coming up for the Cougars, who were really just given new life. Coach, got to take advantage of it.
Yeah, they've got to take advantage of a mistake by an official. I don't know if you saw that too, Bob, but he threw it from the 15 and he caught it on the 17, so that's a backward pass.
Yeah, it was definitely a lateral.
Yep.
Plenty of sponsors tonight that we will highlight. No Frank Salona tonight on our sideline, but we will give plenty of love to Friends and Family Credit Union, our usual sideline reports. Big third down. Trinetti puts a man in motion, drops. He's rolling left. He's looking left. Room to throw it. It's caught just short of the end zone at the 2. So the Cougars have a decision to make here. It's that type of game where the first quarter is almost done and we're scoreless. So a fourth down and goal coming up. We'll see what Coach Gibbons wants to do.
They substituted a number of different players, 2 or 3 from the sideline, so they may be going with some kind of a big group. It is 2 tight ends, 3 backs in the backfield.
And it's not Trinetti under center. It's a give up the middle, and the Crusaders looked like they stuffed it at first, but the Cougars roll through. Touchdown, Lake Catholic. On a fourth down and goal, they make it happen. Sometimes that's all that matters, is you got it in there.
And I think it was second effort because he went in backwards. He was met at the line of scrimmage, and I thought that Central was going to stop him, but a little second effort on the part of the running back, and he backed into the end zone for the score.
Looked like DJ Sears on that carry.
Yeah, your guess is good as
Tough
mine.
view here. Bright lights, bright white jerseys. Extra point coming up for the Cougars, who strike first. Snap back, ball down. Kick is up. Kick is good. So an interception for Lake Catholic High School turns into a touchdown on the other side of the field. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll go through that Sarda scoring drive and the Crusaders getting the ball back on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
What's Dad doing out there? Trying to smoke his own bacon. Weird.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Get into SARDA and get SARDA smart. Sure, we're all about Stark County, but did you know we have express fixed routes to Akron and Cleveland? Just take Route 81, that's Akron, or Route 4 to Cleveland. Shop, eat, sightsee, catch a game, or visit the other Hall of Fame. We also take veterans to their Wade Park appointments for free. Plan your next trip to Akron or Cleveland, and SARDA will get you there. That's how you get into SARDA, and where you get Super SARDA Smart.
Ball up and underway here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. The Lake Catholic Cougars striking first in this one. We'll have your Sarda scoring drive in just a second. We want to thank all our sponsors. The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, of course. You saw our CKP starting lineups. CKP Heating and Cooling, keeping the big dogs comfortable. Our Novellis Kickoff Our sideline reports, which we won't have tonight. Frank Salona out for this one, but we will thank Friends and Family Credit Union weekly for doing that. Our Sarda scoring drive, the Red Zone, the Sarchione Red Zone. Get your own at Sarchione Auto. And our player of the game later, that's an Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game. Our key play replay brought to you by Sugardale. After this play, we'll go through that scoring drive for the Cougars. The Canton Central Catholic offense so close to scoring before that interception. End around to Thomas. Ducks it back inside, just short of the first down, but a good gain. Coach, that Sarda scoring drive.
Yeah, 89 yards and 11 plays. They took 3 minutes and 35 seconds off the clock to get it done. 2-yard TD run by DJ Sears, extra point by Harley Forkins. That was good. Lake has the early lead at 7-0. They also have a kicking game when Forkins kicked off. It landed 9 yards deep in the end zone.
Credit to DJ Sears. He made that play along the sideline, and then we had a little confusion because they stacked things up so much, but it was Sears scoring on that one. Central Catholic on a 2nd down and 2. That pile got crisp fast for the running back, and not a lot of room there to work for Luke Spittler. I was with the Crusaders preseason, coach, and I talked with Jeff Lindesmith, and one of the things he was excited about 20 new names to his roster, adding a little more depth to his squad. And he said normally he's got 1, maybe 2 running backs that he would be able to use. Right. He said this year he'll have 3, and also at that receiving core he's got other options too. Well, so depth going to help out.
I also noticed that they've only got 2 or 3 kids going both ways, which is unusual for small schools. And
timeout here on the field, end of the first quarter here at Lowell Kleinfelter Field. Lake Central Catholic with a 7-0 lead over Canton Central Catholic. A little bit of a preview for Monday morning, 9 a.m. What exactly is happening at the Hall of Fame Village here in Canton? It's supposed to be football's Disney World, where we're checking in on how that's going. So many questions. Pam Cook of Canton's Morning News, we'll find out when she talks with CEO Michael Crawford. Tune in at 9:05 Monday morning. Pam Cook, Michael Crawford. That'll be on radio. We will also do that live on Facebook. And guess where else, Coach? On YouTube. That's why you want to subscribe right now. It's one easy click. I'm
going to have to take some time off, a few minutes Monday at work, and listen to that interview.
There it is.
That could be interesting.
If you haven't been to the Hall of Fame Village yet, tons of new additions. The Ferris wheel, new shops. We've got the brand new Dome, Play Action Plaza. Lots to do if you haven't visited, and more to come. Central Catholic back out on the other end. It's a 3rd down and 1. Keeper for DeRuza. Got it. Flooring forward, trying to get a little bit of help blocking-wise. He's finally wrapped up and brought down. Coach Lindesmith didn't want to mess around on that one. Coach, we talked about your relationship with Lowell Kleinfelter, Jeff Lindesmith, but you know the Gibbons family, too, on the other side of things for the Cougars.
Yes, I do. Marty's dad and I coached together. His kids played for him. He was at Middle Lake Catholic. He was at St. Edward's, and the kids have that in their blood, similar to my family in some respects.
1st down and 10. DeRuza, another end around. See how far they get. Not far at all. Hit hard in the backfield. That carry did not go far for Hunter Baus.
I'll mention, too, that the 3rd down run by DeRuza was a design quarterback run. Something that they hadn't shown before, but he had really good blocking and good gain on the play to get the 1st down.
Whenever you give us an insight story like that, Coach, I always say I'm interested to see, did he coach against him or with him? Because they're always happier when they were with you. Central Catholic 2nd down and 11. DeRuza in the shotgun, 2 right, 2 left receiver-wise. Plenty of time, backs way up, delivers, caught, and rocked. Another loss of yards coming up here for Central. Good to complete the pass, but the Cougar defense getting there quickly.
Yeah, minimal gain of 2 yards. Accurate throw. The DB had momentum as he broke to cover the receiver, and his momentum on the tackle limited it to a 2-yard gain. So Central's got to come up with a 3rd and long answer.
Nice hit by the 2-way player, Jimmy Gibbons. We've seen him plenty on offense, playing that outside corner on defense. Central with an interesting formation here, almost a wing on that right side. DeRuza fakes the pass, steps up, little bit of time running out of time, buys time, sets his feet, high ball, in and out of the hands of Connor Thomas. Had an opportunity to finish out an exciting play for DeRuza, but Thomas drops it, and the Crusaders will look to punt. Coach, that formation, pretty interesting there. Enlighten me on what I saw.
Well, they had multiple receivers into the boundary. They've done it before, 3 receivers into the boundary, which is a little bit unusual. But they do that for a reason, and then the play call was going to feature those 3 receivers into the boundary. Connor peeked just as the ball contacted his hands, and you got to look that thing all the way in until you secure the catch.
Tyler Cook on the punting duties for the Crusaders. Back deep, Cougars to return. It'll bounce. We'll see what kind of bounce. Look to be up towards the 30. We'll check in on some scores. The first one, of course, on WHBCSports.com. You can get all the scores, Stark County schools going at it. Lake and Hoover on our WHBCSports.com SARTA stream game. They are tied at 3. Manchester, a 7-0 lead over Fairless. The Falcons trying to break a 5-game losing streak. Winless Glen Oak against winless Mansfield. We'll see who takes that one. Still 0-0 over there. Jackson already out to a 7-0 lead over McKinley. More scores for you soon. Massillon also up 10-0 over Harding in the first quarter. A historic matchup there.
It's a 47-yard punt.
Frankie Trinetti, give to the outside. Ace Peterlin carries. He had a end around earlier, and there he gains 9 yards. We'll see if they give him the first. It's going to be tight.
I was doing the math on the punt, was reluctant to say it because that's not my forte. But got great roll, but I knew it was 40+.
And they'll give him a tough spot where he stepped out of bounds, so it looks to be a 2nd down and 4. WHBCSports.com, plenty of things going on there. Again, scores tonight. Your link to the Saturday morning huddle, our high school football recap show, live on Facebook and YouTube tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Myself, Kenny Rhoda. Special guests, coaches, players, scores, highlights, and more every Saturday morning at 10 a.m. and rewatchable later on. Trinetti, pistol formation, gives it up the middle. It looks like Gibbons, and Gibbons flies forward for a couple extra yards, but the important part of that run, a first down.
He ran through arm tackles, and he's a downhill runner type of guy. I can identify that already with 1 quarter and a little bit gone in the game. And an arm tackle is not going to bring him down. He's going to run through that. He's a coach's kid. And I'm sure he's a weight room guy too. So he's got some strength to his game. Not a big guy, but I'm certain that he's strong, and we know that he's tough.
37-20 was the score in this matchup last year. Fresh set of downs for the Cougars. Already up 7-0 over Canton Central Catholic. Trinetti gives to his running back. A tackle in the backfield missed for the Crusaders. And another carry for Gibbons. He broke that tackle and ended up with about 5 yards. And, Coach, unfortunately, there seems to be a theme early here for the Crusaders. Missed opportunities, offense and defense.
Yeah, I mean, that could have, should have been a 3-yard loss.
Canton Central Catholic 4-4 on the season. 2016 state champions. They held the title of most recent state champions here in Stark County until Massillon won last year. Another pistol formation, extra blocker up front for the Cougars. 2 receivers left, 1 right. Trinetti on a 2nd down and 6. Moves his extra blocker to the left. Give up the middle. Gibbons, room to work. Now he's trying to get to that left side, breaking plenty of tackles. Past the 50. 1 more to break, and he could have got a lot extra. But Gibbons out of steam after a beautiful run. And defenders bouncing off his ankles.
Diving tackle by Tyler Cook. Or it could have been longer.
So that multiple back system for the Cougars has worked well tonight, and now it's Gibbons starting to separate himself. Trinetti back to pass, gets it quickly to Spears. He's going to hit that sideline again, and a nice gain before he's upended out of bounds. About 2 yards short of the first down.
89 again.
And just when the Crusaders think they've got this offense, think they know who they're giving it to, the Cougars bring someone else in to play make. 7:31 remaining in the second quarter, 7-0. Both teams have held the ball for a while, almost got to the end zone, and it's killed the clock. Trinetti, give, it's an end around to Boyce. First down and out of bounds. That should move the change for the Cougars.
Yeah, marked it.
And it will.
Marked it just past the line to gain stake.
And it's been Caden Boys and Jimmy Gibbons getting carries tonight. Bob, able to get those stats for me quickly?
Gibbons, 7 carries, 68 yards. Boys, 4 carries for 25 yards.
Ladies and gentlemen, meet your stat aficionado, Bob Jeffries, ready to go when called upon.
Yeah, you add in the other people, and they're over 100 yards on the ground, 62 yards in the air.
7-0, the Cougars lead it. 8-0 on the season. Looking to do it on the road here tonight. Trinetti fades left, sets his feet, looking to make the throw, and completes it. First time tonight we have seen Carter Majeka.
Patrick Radigan,
yeah.
The receiver on the.
Of course, the one name I didn't double check in pregame.
Yeah, Radigan, 15.
Okay, Radigan. Excuse me, wrong number there.
He's one of the two-way starters, too.
The Cougars sporting their white jerseys tonight with green numbers. Have marched down the field here with 6:40 remaining in the second quarter. They lead 7-0, looking to expand. Pistol formation. Trinetti moves Spears, their extra blocker, to the left. He's got Boyce in the backfield. He's got Boyce taking the ball. Boyce pushing that pile. Fresh set of downs again
and a flag
for Lake Catholic, and a flag down. Thank you, Bob. Our first flag of the night, I believe.
Yes. No, wait, we did have one more.
You're listening to the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week on 1480 WHBC. That's holding on the Cougars, so it'll back it up and cancel that first down. Billy Beebe with you. Hall of Fame coach Thom McDaniels to my left. To the left of him, Bob Jeffries. And our terrific crew with Claxon Communications bringing you this one live on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel.
In this formation, with the second back, that's just I formation football, basically.
Trinetti brings a man in motion, adds a little extra to the pile as it's a give to Gibbons. And once again, Gibbons hits that pile, I count to 2, and he comes flying out of it for a couple extra yards.
Yeah, DJ Sears is the blocking back, and he's 6'1", 205, a thick fullback, tight body. It doesn't look like I formation football with the quarterback and the gun, but the way they run the ball, if he was under center, everybody would recognize it as I formation run game.
Interesting, Coach, that they go from that spread to the eye so quickly. I mean, they're really changing this offense up.
Yep, and here they are in the spread, 2x2 set.
Trinetti, man in motion. Sears is working overtime. Back to pass. Plenty of time to make something happen. Hits the sideline. It's Radigan. Stiff arm. Trying to push to the 20. It took 4 Crusaders to bring him down. Folks, we haven't had an extremely physical football game tonight on these tackles. Both sides, Cougars and Crusaders, hitting hard.
Well, Radigan's 6 foot, 185. That's nice size for a receiver in high school.
Brings up 4th and 1 off a gain of 7. Let's go Crew.
Central going back and forth between a 3-man front and or a 4-man front to try to stop the run. 3-man front is their answer to the spread sets.
4th down and 1. Big play for the Cougars coming up. Already up 7-0. 4-down territory. They'll stack the line. So will Canton Central Catholic. Timeout by the Crusaders. Timeout by us. You're watching the 1480 AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. We'll be right back.
Saturday Morning Huddle with Kenny Rhoda, Billy Beebe, and the WHBC sports team.
Well, hey guys, seriously, what's it like playing for him? Because he comes off that way, and it's who he is. So both of you, Wes, you go first, and then Lucas, what's it like playing for Coach Gamble?
He definitely works to build the family aspect. We're just a big family here at Sandy, and he keeps the energy high. His pregame speeches are always great, and especially we always pray before we go out onto the field, and that's the one thing that really gets me fired up, gets me ready for the game.
Lucas, how about you playing for this guy?
Yeah, building off what he said, he's an amazing motivator and a great coach as well.
WHBC Sports, it's more than just the game.
A strong community brings people together and lifts them through all of life's challenges. At Friends and Family Credit Union, we believe a dependable financial resource is crucial for a strong community. That's why, in addition to our financial services, we support our neighbors whenever we can. Giving back to our community, we strive to be a part of the growth and success of our institutions, organizations, and neighbors. Because when they succeed, we succeed.
4th down and 1. Trinetti gives first down almost immediately, as all that timeout did was give the Cougars time to draw something very efficient up. They had plenty of room on that left, and a decisive 4th down. Lake Catholic already up 7-0 and milking that clock. They'll continue to do so as they eye the end zone.
Power play to the left. That time, DJ Sears was lined up as the left tight end. Where he is probably where they're going to run the ball when he's in the game.
2 receivers right, 1 left. It is Sears as an extra blocker. Now he'll move out to wide receiver. Trinetti looks right, sets his feet. We got a stoppage in play and a false start on the offense. Second time the Crusaders will catch this break from the Cougars. We appreciate you tuning in with us on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Next week, all eyes are on Massillon, Ohio, as the 136th meeting of Massillon and McKinley. We will have all-day coverage starting at 9 a.m. We'll be live from Loby's Irish Pub and Grill. You'll have a breakfast burrito with me and Coach McDaniels before we eventually bring you the game on 1480 WHBC, a historic rivalry. Coach, you've been a part of that one. We've done that broadcast for the longest time. Excited to do it again.
Yep, I am too, but
we'll stick here for now. Trinetti rolling to his right on a 1st down and 15. He'll set his feet and get back to the original line of scrimmage. A little bit of contact after.
Inevitably, you had to talk about that game before the week of the game.
Sure.
But I always opposed that. so my lack of a response was sort of just a
and I know the current coaches feel the same way. You know, we have to line up interviews with them next week.
Of course.
And I feel bad because I'm texting them on a Thursday before a game this week about next week, and I know it's all kind of crazy, but we bring you great coverage here on WHBC. Subscribe to YouTube. I'll be sitting down with Coach Moore and Coach Hall in the same room talking about that game next week. So we will have that up probably by Wednesday night. Trinetti puts Gibbons in motion. Central gets through quickly, but it's a dump to Gibbons, pacing that sideline before he's taken down. A couple Crusaders in on that one. Nice tackle by number 81 for Canton Central Catholic. First time tonight we've seen Carter Campetti.
I saw 2 Cougars in motion on the same play and expected a flag, but we didn't get it.
That's what I saw too.
Possibly the...
We meaning the broadcast crew. I'm not partial to either side here most of the time.
7-0, Lake Catholic leads.
Trinetti's now 8 of 12, 82 yards in the game.
Yeah, well, that's well above his 71% completion rate.
A lot of those were drops.
Yes.
One stat we'll check in on here is time of possession, as the Cougars have had it a while in this one. They got it first, though. Trinetti delivers to his receiver, in and out of his hands. Folks, it's not raining, but these receivers have had slippery hands tonight on both sides. Missed opportunity there, and all of a sudden, it's a 4th down and a long 7 for the Cougars.
I may be mistaken, but I think every one of his incompletions is a drop.
Yeah, he's hitting the players in the hands. It's just they're not helping him out.
Big 4th down. Central Catholic faithful get into it. They got a stop earlier on 4th down, looking for another. We haven't seen the Crusaders get much pressure on Trinetti tonight. 3 receivers stacked up on the left, 1 on the right. Gibbons in the backfield. Back to pass. Setting his feet, Trinetti. Tipped, delivered, caught, and touchdown. Ace Peterland into the end zone, and Frankie Trinetti on 4th down delivers a beautiful pass. And that ball kind of flowed through the air in a weird way, but Peterland ends up in the end zone.
They were in a 3-by-1 formation with the 3 receivers to the field, and they motioned out of that. Again, the motion requires a response from Central's secondary. And I think somebody lost their responsibility in coverage because he was wide open in a curl route. Caught it just 1 or 2 yards from the goal line and secured the ball and ducked into the end zone.
Trinetti had to deliver it through the paw of 6'8" Jonathan Stengel. Pushed it through, his receiver caught it and scored. Extra point, good. Lake Catholic High School up 14-0. They're on the road, they're in Canton, and they're up early. 14-0. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week on 1480 WHBC YouTube channel.
As sheriff, George Meyer removed violent fugitives from our streets and is a recognized leader in the fight against drugs. George Meyer secured over $10 million in grants, saving our taxpayer dollars. And George Meyer was chosen to lead the State Sheriff's Association. That's why Sheriff Meyer earned the endorsement of our Fraternal Order of Police. Let's back the blue and keep our award-winning sheriff who saves taxpayer dollars. Sheriff George Meyer, a proven crime fighter, endorsed by law enforcement.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
Touchback kick on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Billy Beebe, Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries with you, fresh off a Lake Catholic High School Cougar score. 14-0, the Cougars lead it. Coach, that Sarda scoring drive.
Yeah, it was a long drive, 14 plays, and it took 7 minutes and 31 seconds. We don't see a lot of long possessions with that amount of time very often in high school. 85 yards, 15-yard TD pass from Trinetti to Ace Petterlin. Extra point by Forkins is good, and Lake has added to the lead, 14 for Lake Catholic, 0 for Central.
14-0, Lake Catholic leads it. Our Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show coming up. We'll run through all the stats, scores from around the area, and a special interview to get you set for Massillon-McKinley week. And screen pass, tried to bring it back inside. First time tonight that we have seen number 29 for the Crusaders. That is Preston Scott, the senior, making a play.
Yeah, some people call that a jailbreak, and that's the outside receiver coming back inside with offensive linemen as blockers, and they had a man in motion who was a blocker for him also. Got a 3-yard gain and sets up a second and reasonable.
And right here, Coach, we'll have you talk about it after this play. As an end around again, Connor Thomas trying to fly forward, maybe another 2 or 3 yards. You got a Central Catholic offense that we've seen them twice. They like to milk the clock, slow, methodical, run their offense correctly. Well, now they're pressured with 2.5 minutes here to make something happen before halftime. What's the strategy here as they come up on 3rd and 3?
Well, they got to manage their time well, and first downs stop the clock. So the clock, you don't have to take timeouts all the time to do it. Getting the ball forward and out of bounds stops the clock. They're a little bit careful at this end of the field because the last thing they want to do is to turn the ball over again to Mentor Lake Catholic, with 1:45 left or less, and give them another opportunity to score, because we know that they also have big play capability, though Mentor's done it with long possessions and long drives. But they'd like to get something out of it, but goal number one is not to give the ball back to Mentor Lake.
Especially in this territory. Looked like we had a timeout from Central. Is that correct, Bob? There, that stopped that?
I guess I'm not sure whether it was their timeout or Lakeside.
That was Lake.
Okay.
Yeah, they each have 2 left.
A 3rd down and 3. A big 3rd down and 3 coming up for Central Catholic. This will decide how this half ends. DeRuza in the shotgun. It'll be a snap. It'll be a keeper. Didn't get it. Hit off the edge, then flew forward. We'll see where they mark him now. He did get it.
Yes, he did. Yes, he
got
did.
hit from the side. Credit to Jason Cummings. He hit him quickly, but DeRuza kept driving his feet. And lesson learned, never give up, even if you're hit early.
Hurrying up with their play call, maximizing time.
Clock hits 1:30 as the Crusader offense. It's a quick screen pass, caught. We'll see if he can get past the defender. He can't. That'll be a loss of 1. The Crusaders going back to number 11 there, Hunter Baus. And Baus continues to get carries and touches.
The failure of that play often, and we've seen it all season long, has to do with who happens to be blocking for the guy running the bubble.
Cougars take the timeout there. I mentioned it earlier, folks. The food fight is going on. You've got one more week. 13th annual food fight to benefit the Stark County Hunger Task Force. This year's food fight finale rallies. The final day on Friday. Brand new locations this year will be at Carpe Diem Coffee in downtown Canton and Tremont Coffee on Erie Street in Massillon. 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Come by with donations. Look, pick up a cup of coffee, give a monetary donation, and help out the Stark County Hunger Task Force. And if you're up to it, decide, say, hey, this is in the name of Massillon. This is in the name of McKinley. This is just for Stark County. You pick. You can also stop by Fulton Drugs and Medicap Pharmacies. And again, at halftime, going to give you a look inside where that money, where that food goes at the Stark County Hunger Task Force as I talked with Stephanie Sweeney. Back out after the timeout from the Cougars. It's a second down and about 11. DeRuza drops back again. We got a flag. That one stops quickly, and this may really hinder Central.
Yeah, Benner took that timeout. They took the one prior to that, too, and good teams do that. They've got a 14-point lead, and we want the ball back. We presume that we're going to stop them, but we're going to stop them with some time to do something.
Some scores from around the area. Federal League action, Green, a 7-0 lead over Perry. Alliance, a 14-0 lead early over Minerva. And Salem, 23-0 lead. They lead Marlington. All those scores on WHBCSports.com. 1 minute, 20 seconds remaining. Second down and 16 for Central. Down 14-0. Central was in their Sarchione red zone territory when they threw an interception. Since then, haven't been able to get that close. DeRuza steps up. He's under duress. Now he's going to keep it, trying to get back to that line of scrimmage. He's dragged down from behind and out of bounds. For Lake Catholic, they've been in the red zone plenty today, and they've made the most of it on, I don't quite think they made it on that first drive, but the other two, they ended up scoring both times they entered the Sarchione red zone. And again, we remind everybody, get your own at Sarchione Auto.
Yeah, first drive they got stopped at midfield, loss of downs.
Okay.
The last thing you wanted to do in this situation was get out of bounds and stop the clock with the 3rd and long situation. Mentor didn't have to use a timeout if they've got one left.
Central, long 3rd down, big 3rd down. DeRuza, time to make something happen. Lobs it up into the hands of his receiver, but too many defenders around him.
3 to be exact. 3, 14.
And Tyler Cook couldn't make the play there. Coach Linda Smith, so many good opportunities for his team tonight, just haven't quite swung their way. That's the first half, Coach. What can they do at halftime to make sure these things are cleaned up for the second half?
Well, they got to get to halftime with this score. There's 1 minute 8 seconds left, and Mentor Lake Catholic used 2 timeouts just because of this. If they want the ball back, they're going to have bad intentions, and they have the ability to go up tempo too.
That one out of bounds towards the 37. We'll see where they mark it. But as Coach McDaniels just said, one last opportunity here for the Cougars. They have just 1 timeout. And again, our Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show coming up. Stats, scores from around the area. And again, my special interview with Stephanie Sweeney of the Stark County Hunger Task Force. Food Fight is an excellent opportunity, folks, to give back non-perishables, monetary donations, locations all over Stark County. Bring those in and help out those in need. Just something great that's happening during football season. It's the 13th annual Food Fight. Lake Catholic already up 14-0. They'll have 1 minute and 2 seconds to work. Flip to the right. Double reverse. Flea flicker time. Throws just short of the first down. It is caught by Spears. A whole lot of action in that backfield.
1, 2, 3 different, 4 people counting the receiver touched the ball on that play.
let's see, it went Gibbons to Cummings, then to the quarterback, Trinetti, and eventually to Sears. A second down, and they'll mark it 8. Clock stopped at 56 seconds. Trinetti, man in motion, snaps. He'll keep it. He'll take his time to throw. High ball, far down the field. It is.
That was offensive.
Almost picked off.
The white jersey interfered.
And the Crusader fans furious on that one. Connor Thomas waiting for the ball as the receiver dragged him down. I think the ball got in his hands at one point. Good arm on Trinetti there.
Brock Berkwin had a legitimate opportunity to intercept that ball, but you know, his jersey was almost torn off his back, and he was turned sideways by the receiver in an attempt to prevent the interception. No flag, though.
Incomplete. 49 seconds remaining. A 3rd down and 2 for the Cougars. Trinetti has had time to throw. Credit that offensive line. They have been terrific. Zappatelli, Brew, Barnes, Morton, and Nemo. Trinetti steps up, taking his time. Got to make something happen. His receiver makes the catch, and the Crusaders get a huge tackle.
33.
I think you're calling it incomplete.
Brock Abbott hit him, and it results in an incomplete pass, and the tables turned quickly as there was worry about what the Cougars would do with that time on the clock. Now they'll have to make a 4th down decision. Trinetti trots on the field on a 4th down and 2. We'll see if maybe they want him to jump.
And Central has timeouts if they don't complete this or convert this.
One stop on 4th down today for the Crusaders. Offsides. There goes the flag. Not helpful for Central. Really felt a momentum shift on that last play, and that's going to change quickly.
Do you think they were ever going to snap the ball?
Looked like a Stefanski out there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Looked like a Stefanski. As
I don't get that because
Kevin Stefanski, sorry, Coach, very iconic for every time the Browns trot out on 4th down, they're willing to try get them to just jump off sides. Very common for Browns head coach.
Not aware. I'm following another NFL team, so.
2 receivers left, 1 right. You're following a winning one, right?
Yeah, I am.
Running back in the backfield with Trinetti, fresh set of downs. He'll use it to pass. Stepping up, Trinetti all day, rolls to his right, finally throws it, incomplete.
Nice
Good defense by the Crusaders. A new name making the play there. Number 16, defensively. Tyler Cook's punting, Tyler Cook is playing receiver, and now he's a defensive back making plays. 36 seconds remaining. And after that first quarter into the second flew by, clock draining down. This final minute 20 is really slogged.
You can tell that Trinetti's used to good protection because he's so relaxed and calm.
Trinetti will relax again in the pocket. This time he's under pressure. He'll roll left. He's got time. High balls it towards the sideline. There's some action over there. Makes the catch. Complete up at the 35-yard line. Patrick Radigan made the catch. I just saw a defender get thrown to the ground and figured the ball sailed overhead.
You know, Brock Berkwin made a play on the ball, but just was inches short of getting his hand on it to prevent the completion.
So the Cougars, Coach, you predicted that they could make something happen with this short amount of time. They're getting closer and closer, just 10 yards away from the Sarchone red zone.
Well, you don't take defensive timeouts in that last situation unless you have the ability and the confidence to do what they're doing right now.
Sears off to that left side to help with blocking. Now Gibbons will roll right as a receiver. Trinetti looking towards Gibbons. Under pressure again, but room on that right side. Looked incomplete, rolls away incomplete. And even right now when Trinetti gets under pressure, he'll roll out and there's plenty of room over there.
There's a common thing to the routes that they're running. They're all out-breaking routes so that a receiver can make a catch and get out of bounds because that conserves time and stops the clock. The previous completion was on the left sideline, and that attempt there was on the right sideline. Don't be surprised if they don't sneak somebody down the middle at some point to.
Trinetti in the shotgun, 2nd down and about 10. Plenty of time to throw over the middle, in and out of the hands. More drops all over the field. This one, Ace Peterland. And it seemed like maybe Trinetti thought he would keep moving. And a beautiful background, the moon high over the field here. Lowell Kleinfelder Field, Canton, Ohio. 14-0 in this mini Holy War. Lake Catholic High School with the lead as we are 19 seconds away from halftime.
And they sneak number 5 down the middle, hoping to take advantage of them maybe overplaying the outbreaking routes.
Yeah, they have 1 timeout, so they can use the whole field.
Yeah.
Our Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show coming up. Bob Jeffries will gather our stats for us. Coach McDaniels will deliver them and then break down what he saw and what he's looking to see in the second half. Trinetti, 3rd and 10. Steps up, time to throw, lobs it. One-handed, wasn't enough there. Cross Nemo made a good effort, but that was a tough play to make.
Yep, Brock Berkwin had good coverage on the play with a safety over top also.
Brock Berkwin, not a name we've said much tonight, Coach, but in this last drive, he's really starting to get involved.
Yeah, he had an attempt to tip one of the sideline throws to the left here away and was just inches away from doing it, but he had great coverage and broke that pass up.
15 seconds remaining, a 4th down and 10. Trinetti's been on this field all night. He's not leaving now. Shotgun formation with a man in front. Might have been I formation, really. Trinetti goes high, completes it. Radigan reels it in at the 20 and goes out of bounds. A huge 4th down catch and a chain mover for the Cougars.
That's a crossing route from the wide side of the field to the short side of the field so that if he can complete the pass, his momentum is going to allow him to come from right to left and get out of bounds and stop the clock. Nice design, nice execution.
9 seconds left for the Cougars to try and make something happen. They've got 1 timeout. They don't show a ton of interest in a field goal.
Though their kickers put the ball in the end zone both times.
On both kicks, correct. So Trinetti back out there. 9 seconds, Coach. What do you think? Time for 1 play, maybe 2?
With 9 seconds, you can get 2. Yep.
Trinetti steps up, looking right. Throws it towards the sideline. Reeled in again by Radigan. Really had to use his vertical on that one. But him and Trinetti are on the same page at week 9 of this season.
Trinetti has the strong arm to take the ball from the left hash and throw it to the far sideline and get a completion. And not every high school quarterback can do that.
Bob, Trinetti stats tonight?
13 completions, 24 attempts, 147 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Extra point attempt coming up for Lake Catholic that left 4 seconds on the clock.
Field goal attempt.
Excuse me, yeah, field goal, yep.
Should be 28 yards.
And for the Cougars, Haley Forkins will kick it. The senior, snap back, ball down, contact in that backfield. The O-line fell behind, and it's good. They didn't have much time to work, but the Cougars made something happen, and they'll take a 17-0 lead into halftime. We'll take you into halftime. Our Old Carolina Barbecue halftime show coming up. Bob Jeffries will gather stats. Thom McDaniels will sort out what he just watched and get us ready for the second half. And again, if you stick with us, we've got a special interview. Myself and Stephanie Sweeney of the Stark County Hunger Task Force. You're watching the live AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. The food fight to benefit the Stark County Hunger Task Force is happening right now. Every year, it's a battle between Massillon and McKinley to see who can collect the most non-perishable food items. This year's drop-off spots include Fulton Drugs, Medicap Pharmacy, Carpe Diem Coffee, Tremont Coffee, McKinley High School and other schools in the Canton City School District, Massillon Washington High School and other schools in the Massillon City School District, 1480 WHBC, and the Mix 94.1 Studios. Our finale rally is set for October 25th at Carpe Diem in Canton and Tremont Coffee in Massillon. Details and a QR code for monetary donations at WHBC.com.
Sharing a big family moment. Working hard from home. Relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life. Engaged, where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi, making life at home engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
Novelis Uricsville is the world leader in aluminum recycling, and they need you. They have immediate openings for general laborers, equipment operators, and various skilled trade positions. They will start you at $22 per hour or higher, and there are advancement opportunities, and Novelis offers industry-leading benefits. To apply or find out more, go to Novelis.com/careers and search Uricsville. That's Novelis.com. Novelis is an equal opportunity employer.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
From the heart of the Hall of Fame city to the Carnation City, all the way into the City of Champions. Mixed Mornings have come back home, and we can't wait to have you on our team.
Sounds like Stark County. Mixed Mornings with Matt Bantone. Weekdays 6 till 10. Mix 94.1.
CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com.
For over 60 years, Friends and Family Credit Union has proudly served Stark County. We provide financial services to anyone who lives, works, worships, or attends school in Stark County. Whether it's a loan, savings, checking, or other financial services, now more than ever, it's time to bring a friend into the family. Come visit any of our 3 locations, online or our mobile app. Our focus is always you, the member.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, Billy Beebe with you. Thom McDaniels to my left, the legendary and Hall of Fame head coach. Bob Jeffries next to him doing stats. We'll get those for you in just a second. Coach, we didn't get to our Sarda scoring drive to end the half there. Give that to me before I hit you with some scores.
Again, Lake Catholic demonstrated their ability to score quickly and with very little time. They had 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock left in the second quarter, and they occupied 11 plays and covered 55 yards, ending in a 28-yard field goal by Harley Forkins. Lake Catholic now 17, Central nothing. But to stop the clock defensively when Central had their last possession, that translated into them then having enough time to get a score.
Yeah, and you were noting that right away, Coach, when they were on defense, that would later go to help out.
Yeah.
Scores, WHBCSports.com. When you're watching or listening to one of our games, you can also be checking WHBCSports.com for what's happening around Stark County. The Green Bulldogs, they're trying to stay alive in the Federal League. They can still get a third of it if they keep winning. They're up 10-0 over Perry. Lake and Hoover, I'll tell you, Coach, my 4th year of doing games with WHBC here, and I did it before when I was at Mount Union. I've never seen a bad Lake Hoover game. That is not going to stop tonight. 10-6 at halftime. That'll be a tight finish there. South Range leads Louisville 28-13. Fairless, they're looking to break their losing streak. However, Manchester, not the team you're going to do it against. The Panthers leading Fairless 19-0. Federal League, if McKinley wins tonight, they are the outright undefeated Federal League champions. However, they trail a white-hot no pun intended, with the Polar Bears. 14-7, Jackson leads McKinley. Northwest bouncing back well this week after losing to CVCA. They're up 14-7. East Canton, after rallying off a couple wins, they trail Buckeye Trail 20-3. Alliance leads 20-0 over Minerva. Carrollton and West Branch, the Warriors, both are the Warriors. West Branch up 20-0 over Carrollton, and a historic matchup, the 89th meeting between Massillon and Warren Harding. Massillon up 24-0 at halftime. They are well ready for next week's matchup against McKinley, but a long way to go in that one. Garroway leads Sandy Valley 27-6. Sandy Valley, they lead Mogador, a 27-0 lead over St. Thomas Aquinas. Two teams in search of their first win. Glen Oak is at Mansfield, and right now the Golden Eagles getting it done on the road, 28-7. Scott Garcia's crew finally making it happen. Salem, a 38-0 lead over Marlington, and right now a scoreless game between Tuslaw and Canton South, the Wildcats. Thank you to Bob Jeffries. He rallied our stats together here, and Coach, you've got them for us.
Yeah, the halftime stats favor Lake in every way. They rushed for 105 yards, and Central rushed for 49. They passed for 147 yards. Central passed for 21. Lake 252 total yards. Central 70. 14 first downs for Lake, 5 for Central. 15 minutes and 8 seconds worth of time with the ball, and Central had 8 minutes and 52 seconds of possession. No turnovers for Lake. Coulda, shoulda had one. One for Central. 3 penalties for Lake for 20 yards and 1 penalty for Central for 5 yards.
An interesting first half. I'll go to Bob Jeffries, who rallied those. Bob, what stat stuck out to you?
Well, definitely time of possession. Lake's had the ball like twice as much as Central, and snaps too. Lake Catholics had 41. Central has 21. Did you do individual stats yet?
No.
Tom?
Have at it, Coach.
Frankie Trinetti for Lake Catholic, he's as expected, as good as he's been built up to be. 13 of 24 with multiple drop passes, 147 yards and a TD. Jimmy Gibbons, the primary ball carrier for Menor, 9 rushes, 76 yards. Ace Petterlin has 4 catches for 34 yards, and Patrick Radigan 5 catches for 57 yards to lead Lake. Louis Ruza had 4 completions with 8 attempts, 21 yards, and an interception. Luke Spittler had 5 of those, 5 rushes for 17 yards. He leads Central in that category. Connor Thomas had 3 rushes for 14 yards. Most of those were jet sweeps or reverse-type plays. Connor Thomas has 1 catch for 16 yards.
Anything else to note?
No, I think that, we're more familiar with Lake now than we were at the beginning of the game, and we can recognize that they're talented where they said they were talented and where they were, built up to be. Yep, they are who they were built up to be. They're also well coached. We saw a nice job of coaching, at the end of the second quarter there to use timeouts defensively to preserve time in an attempt to get the ball back, and then they took advantage of that and executed a really nice 2-minute situation with way less than 2 minutes to play with. Went 11 plays and came away with a field goal, and it now makes it a 3-score game. And the less scores that Central Catholic could give them, the more likely they were going to be able to compete. So now it's going to take 3 scores to get it done, and that 3 can loom large, because there's a big difference between being 2 scores behind and 3 scores.
Yeah, Central had their opportunity. I mean, they stopped them on that first drive at the 50, had the short field.
Yep.
Got it all the way down to the 6. I mean, they could easily have been up 7-0.
Good evening,
but since then, Lake
gentlemen.
Catholic, they've had 3 drives, 2 touchdowns, and a field goal. So they've been a well-oiled machine since then.
25.
I believe it was just third down when they threw that interception in the red zone, and a lot of football left, right, fellas? Central will start with the football to begin that second half. We broke down a little bit. We'll break down more here when we come back. First off, though, we're going to take a break. My interview with Stephanie Sweeney of the Stark County Hunger Task Force. I keep talking to you about food fight, donate it. We are going to show you exactly where that food goes, exactly what it's being used for, and how you can help a great cause this football season. You're watching the AultCare YouTube live Game of the Week on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel.
Saturday Morning Huddle with Kenny Rhoda, Billy Beebe, and the WHBC sports team.
Coach, we discussed this earlier. When you heard the name Chase Badger, did you kind of think you had a player there, a baller there? Because I think a lot of people hear that name and they think that's a sweet name. That's got to be a good player.
Well, I've been around long enough that I don't put much stock into that. I think I first watched him play as an 8th grader and thought he had some really good skills, and he's been with us for 4 years now and just works really hard and has some really good skills, and we're just trying to hone him in a little bit on those.
WHBC Sports, it's more than just the game.
What's Dad doing out there? Trying to smoke his own bacon.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Sharing a big family moment. Working hard from home. Relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life. Engaged, where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi, making life at home engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
So what exactly is happening at the Hall of Fame Village? Find out Monday on Canton's Morning News as I sit down with Village CEO Michael Crawford. Join us at 9:05 Monday morning. Pam Cook and Michael Crawford on 1480 WHBC.
CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com. Billy Beebe here at the Stark County Hunger Task Force with my guest, Stephanie Sweeney. Stephanie, thank you for joining us today.
I'm happy to be here.
So we are talking food fight. You've heard all the commercials. You know it from the past. Hopefully you might have donated already or seen the boxes around town. Stephanie, we talked so much about this from years past, but the biggest thing this year definitely is need, correct?
Yes. So we have seen a dramatic increase in all of our programs this year. A lot of people are really familiar with our backpack program. Right now, we're serving over 1,800 children a week in that program. We have lots of kids in Massillon and lots of kids in Canton City that we're serving each and every week through that program. Right now, we're already at a larger capacity than what we were at the end of last school year, and we're just in October, so we're continuing to grow. Our pantry that we have here on site at the Ken Weber Community Campus at Goodwill, we usually average around 4,000 individuals that we're serving each month. Right now, we're already at 5,000 people each month that we're serving, so that number has gone up pretty dramatically. We also have a network of pantries across Stark County, and we are constantly in contact with them, and they're all telling me that some of them, their numbers have actually doubled from just a couple of months ago. So the need is definitely greater than ever right now.
One of the reasons I think this is so successful is the ability to not only donate food, but donate online, donate by text. People have a lot of different ways to do that, correct?
Sure. So if you are interested in making a monetary donation, you can text 44321 to either McKinley or Massillon, whichever one you choose. And let's be honest, even if you didn't go to either of those schools, everyone has a side. There's nobody in Stark County who is neutral in this rivalry, and all that funding comes and supports our programs. Last year, we raised more money than ever before. It was our biggest year ever. We raised a grand total of $18,000 with Food Fight last year between both schools combined. $18,000 actually pays for an entire year of one of our larger backpack program schools. Like we have Cedar over in Canton City. That could fund them for an entire year. We have Franklin and Massillon. It could fund Franklin for an entire year. So this funding really can go a long way to help us in our mission.
Yeah, and don't want to brag or anything for either school, but you got to note McKinley's won the past couple of years. So if you want to help McKinley or if you want to help Massillon out a little bit this year, that competition part of it, always fun. But of course, the need is there and the ability to do something good is there. I will say WHBC.com. That's where you can go now. There's phone numbers there to text. You can come into the studio and donate. And then there's links to get to your guys' website, too, to donate. So, Stephanie, thank you so much. Feel like we're going to get a great number this year. People were really involved last year, right?
They were. It was our biggest year ever. It was really close last year as well. A lot of pressure with this competition and this rivalry. So we crunched our numbers at least 5 times to make sure we declared the appropriate winner. McKinley was on top last year. Massillon, last time they won was 2019, so maybe they're due for another win here.
Love to hear it. Again, WHBC.com for all the info you need to take part in Food Fight.
As sheriff, George Meyer removed violent fugitives from our streets and is a recognized leader in the fight against drugs. George Meyer secured over $10 million in grants, saving our taxpayer dollars. And George Meyer was chosen to lead the State Sheriff's Association. That's why Sheriff Meyer earned the endorsement of our Fraternal Order of Police. Let's back the blue and keep our award-winning sheriff who saves taxpayer dollars. Sheriff George Meyer, a proven crime fighter, endorsed by law enforcement.
Back here on the Old Carolina Barbecue Halftime Show, Billy Beebe with you. Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries. We brought you stats. We brought you scores. It's time for analysis. Thank you to Stephanie Sweeney for joining me to break down the Stark County Hunger Task Force. You saw it there. They are helping folks in the area. I'm bringing them food, making the most of those monetary donations. I know, hey, you just drop off a bag of canned goods, but folks, I've been there in person, packing after-school lunches, getting that ready for everybody. So, again, our food fight is going on right now. It's our 13th annual food fight to benefit the Stark County Hunger Task Force. This year's food fight finale rallies, brand new locations, Carpe Diem in downtown Canton, Tremont Coffee, that's next Friday. And you're welcome to come and donate there with us, and also can stop by Fulton Drugs and Medicap Pharmacies. Coach, let's take a step back here, get back on camera as we did pregame. Hello, everybody, as we switch out here. Coach, we went through scores and stats. We talked about what's happening in this one, a 17-0 lead for Lake Catholic High School as they've come on the road, continued to play very well. Analysis-wise, let's start with coaching. Not just the end of the half, but what are you seeing from Marty Gibbons that he is doing to make sure his team is playing well on the road?
He's utilizing multiple formations. There's a motion and or more than one on almost every play. He's utilizing an H-back, a 6'1", 235-pound player who's listed as a tight end, but he's off the line of scrimmage, and he motions, and he's usually the lead back at the point of attack in the run game. The quarterback is relaxed in the pocket, has a lot of time, is very poised, and very accurate, too. I think he's got 4 or 5 drop passes or his passing numbers. But everything that we heard about their really good players is legitimate. Right. It's all really true.
It's come to light.
Yeah, the thing that's interesting is Central, they're making them work for it. They had to have an 11-play drive to score.
Right.
They had to have a 15-play drive to score. And Mentor Lake had to have an 11-play drive to score. So Central's making it tough on them and making them earn it. and they've been pretty good in defending, a big, long touchdown play. But Central, they're down 3 scores, and that's not where they wanted to be. They'd rather only have to come from 2 scores behind, but they're gonna have to maximize their time with the ball, and they're gonna have to generate some big plays to get back in it.
AultCare YouTube Game of the Week here on 1480 WHBC YouTube channel. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't. Another stat that stuck out to me, Coach, and maybe Bob has it on hand, that 4th down stat for the Cougars, because Central forced plenty of them, and yet they only had 1 4th down stop. Is it 6, Bob, that they had?
I had 4,
okay.
So they were 3 of 4. And that last drive, they were 2 of 2.
And so key there, Coach. I mean, that's a pressure situation. It can get you the ball back, and the Cougars somehow battling through it and making sure they keep that drive going.
Yep, that's correct. And again, that's what good teams do, and they're not hesitant about going for it on 4th down. We've seen them do it at multiple places on the field, but they don't have to take a timeout to think about whether or not to do it. They're making that call, and they're sending out a personnel group, and they're gonna go for it on 4th down, obviously.
Time of possession was also shifted heavily in favor of Lake Catholic. Central eager to get the ball back. They'll get that opportunity to open up the second half. What do you want to see from them offensively on that first drive?
No self-inflicted wounds. No penalties. Let's possess the football and not turn it away. No missed assignments. If we've got an opportunity to make a tackle on a running back or a wide out for Menor, we've got to make that tackle.
Right.
So they have to improve their overall performance offensively, defensively, and in the kicking game. But it's going to take that kind of performance to turn this around.
Coach Jeff Lindesmith well. Again, we talked about that coaching tree with Lowell Kleinfelter. You knew him. But for Coach Lindesmith, what do you like that he does that we may see in the second half?
He's going to be patient. He's not. I would fall over in my seat if he filled the air with footballs. That's not who they are, and he's not going to abandon that. He's going to try to put together a lot of runs and a little bit of throwing at the right time, and if he can create a big play, which would be beneficial to them, he's going to try to do that. But he's not going to change his identity or their identity as a football team. That's who they are, and so he's going to remain who he is, which is what you have to do.
We'll shift our focus back to the field here as we are about set for kickoff. Second half. Thank you again to Old Carolina Barbecue for sponsoring our halftime show. Old Carolina also sponsors our player of the game. We'll get to that later. And our Sugardale key play replay. We've already seen a lot of good stuff, guys, but a lot of football left. Second half, the Menor Lake Catholic High School Cougars, 17-0 lead. They will kick off to Canton Central Catholic. Coach noted, and so did Bob, that the Crusaders had multiple good opportunities, one to score and one to get a good first down, drop passes and an interception. Bouncing squib kick to the 10. Crusaders will take it up towards the 27, knocked out of bounds, number 10. And Bouse, another opportunity there.
Got a good bounce on the ball. Low line drive kick. One bounce.
And Ludaruza had some good opportunities. His stats, another one of those stats, Bob, where it wasn't as telling as how he played. A lot of drops on his offense.
Yeah, he only attempted 8 passes, completed 4 of them. But, yeah, that one interception, that's the one that hurt him right down at the goal line.
First down and 10 at the 27. Crusaders opening the first half with the ball. It's a give up the middle and a nice gain of about 6 to start this thing off.
It's as if Menor Lake anticipated a run play because they had a 4-man front, and they played multiple different fronts, but they had a 4-man front and linebackers at or near the line of scrimmage, expecting the run play.
Luke Spittler gets the carry early for the Crusaders, who are looking for their first score in the game. They entered the Sarchione red zone early but couldn't score. Yankees and Guardians in Game 4 of the ALCS. Give to Spittler again, trying to get a few extra yards. He'll be short of the first, but a close first down coming.
Nope.
Actually, he'll get it. Yeah, got past there. Mix 94-1, you can listen to the Guardians and Yankees. New York, a 2-run home run from Juan Soto. However, the Guardians respond, a double from Kyle Manzardo, and then a sacrifice fly from Jose Ramirez, 2-1 in the bottom of the first. So that high-scoring game carrying over to today. We will have all the ALCS games coming up either on 1480 or Mix 94.1, depending on what's happening. Spittler, fresh off a first down, gets a few more yards on the next carry.
Troy, number 50 on the
and starting to see those Guardian caps more and more in high school football. As Central's got an offensive lineman with it on.
It's a gain of 3.
Number 1 for Menor is the free safety, and he came from depth once he recognized that was a run play. Nick Bion DeLillo and made the tackle at or near the line of scrimmage. Only permitted a 2-yard gain, but that's a guy who read his key and reacted accordingly.
Be sure tomorrow to tune into the Saturday morning huddle. Thought we got a jump. There it is. Flag down. We'll see who went first. I think it was the Cougars, but they're pointing towards the Crusaders. And they will call Central for it. 10 a.m., Facebook, YouTube. This is a watchable show. Myself and Kenny Rhoda, we're getting all the area coaches, players. We've got stats, highlights, scores, and more. We may have some extra special guests tomorrow. We will see. And as always, Marianne Donuts, one of our sponsors, will be eating good on a Saturday morning. DeRuza gives Spittler flying forward and hit a brick wall just before that first down. However, they've been generous with his spots, so we will see.
Yeah, Menor Lake Catholic had an outside backer come off the line of scrimmage at the left side, the left end. The ball was run inside him, and he didn't factor in the play. But they're adding a second-level defender to the front 4 on defense, trying to stop the run.
As we predicted, Central has come out using clock, taking their time as Coach said they would. Got a false start on that right side. And again, the Crusaders, second time on this drive, they will back it up.
False start on the offensive line.
That was Jonathan Stengel.
The previous penalty was on Lake.
Okay. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Special thanks to the Claxon crew making this one happen tonight. Claxon Media Productions, Claxon Communications, excuse me. Want to get that correct. Casey Claxon on motherboard and video producing. Production assistant Xavier Bissett, Evelyn Heyer, and Sam Fronsman on camera. It's a keeper, DeRuza. Not much time to get away from the defenders who came flying in for Lake Catholic, and a hard hit from Jason Cummings on that one.
Lake linebackers are reacting to run keys really well. Expect them to run the ball because that's who Central Catholic is. But they're playing downhill.
Other second half starting for Northwest as they are up 17-14 on Triway. WHBCSports.com is where you can get all those scores. Ludaruza, the senior quarterback, dropping back, taking his time. Feet shuffling, on the move, under pressure. Ball's loose, squirted out, and Stengel will pick it up. 2 defenders taking DeRuza down, and he got some help from his offensive lineman after the ball squirted out. Not how Central wanted to end that drive. And Coach, after so many seconds of being dropped back, you got somebody's open somewhere, right? Got to find something.
Well, or somebody's not open. There's an alarm clock in your head, and it's got to do with the rhythm of your feet, and you have to be aware of 2.5, 3 seconds. You're not counting it off, obviously, but you have to have a mental awareness of that. But anything after that, it's more often not good than good.
So that'll be a fresh set, I guess.
It was 4th down.
Got that positioning there, and Lake Catholic will take over. Central felt the need to really push it there. Give up the middle. Fresh carry here. And up towards the 10 before he's finally knocked out of bounds. Boyce. And that'll get backed up with that flag. And after a first half of not many interruptions from the Laundry, we're getting plenty to begin the second half.
Yeah, third penalty of this half.
And an offensive line that's been so good tonight for the Cougars.
Would we say Lake had 2 or 3 penalties first half?
First half,
one.
Lake Catholic had 3 and Central only had 1.
Okay.
So 4 in the first half, and now we got 3 here in about 5 minutes.
They
4
found
minutes.
their whistles at halftime.
Yeah.
7 minutes, 56 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. 17-0, Lake Catholic leads Central. The Cougars trying to expand that lead. Trinetti, give on that left side. The 2 running backs helping him out tonight are Jimmy Gibbons, and on that last carry, Caden Boys.
22.
Bob, the stats for Boys who just had that carry?
5 carries, 30 yards.
And for Gibbons?
9 carries, 76 yards.
So really a split there between the two. And you almost feel like if they wanted to, Trinetti's got quick feet, but they have not run anything designed for him tonight.
No, they haven't.
Pistol formation. Off to the right goes his running back. Trinetti high balls it towards the sideline. Complete. That's a tough throw to make. It's got to be high. It's got to be far and away from defenders, but Trinetti did it. Another nice catch for Ace Peterland. He had a touchdown earlier.
Yeah, again, that's a long pass, from the left hash to the far sideline. It's 17 and change from sideline to hash and 17 and change from hash to hash. Factor in how far downfield it goes, and you can tell me how far that is. But it's a long throw.
Trinetti sets back up, his running back right in front of him on his right hip. Extra blocker in Sears. Trinetti rolling to his right side under pressure. He'll duck it, hit the sideline, and gets knocked out of bounds.
They tried to sneak the running back, number 22, on a wheel route down the sideline, but Central Catholic did a good job of recognizing that and covering him, which is why the Mineral Lake quarterback kept the ball and ran.
And, Coach, we talked at halftime. He had that play up the sideline. He had that touchdown. 4th down coming up here for the Cougars. DJ Sears, really an unsung hero tonight. You've noticed a lot of extra things he's doing.
Yeah. He's in the game here, and he's playing an H-back, which is, back in the day we would have called him a fullback, but he's usually at the point of attack in the run game.
4th and 5, Trinetti snaps it, setting his feet, plenty of time to make something happen. Throws, it is caught. I don't know if he got past that marker, though.
It's right
The Cougars think they've got it. Central thinks they got the stop, and they'll announce a stop here. Canton Central Catholic stands up. While they did complete the pass to Peterland, he was falling away, and he was short of the first down.
It was supposed to be a long ball, and he was covered well and came back to the quarterback to present himself as available as the quarterback scrambled, and he completed the pass, but it was just short by less than a yard. So this is a big deal. This is a great stop by Central Catholic.
A reminder, you've seen the promo we've been running here. Monday, 9 a.m., Pam Cook, Michael Crawford, the CEO of the Hall of Fame Village, will speak. You can watch that on YouTube or Facebook or listen on 1480 WHBC.
Jet sweep.
Carry for the Crusaders. Jet sweep goes back inside. Not much there. And again, busy night for Connor Thomas. They have made sure to get the ball in his hand. Bob, he has been busy, correct?
Yeah, that was his 4th carry. And depending on the spot, he's got about 17 yards, and he has 1 catch, their longest catch tonight, too.
I know a lot of Canton looking to see if the Village is adding the water park, where that is, where the hotel is, what they've added recently. Don Shula's leaving town, what they've added instead. So, again, Monday at 9 a.m. Flag down as a completed pass to that right side. Kind of a halfback screen pass there.
Flag early in the play.
Central getting ready to back up.
Holding.
And it was a holding. And that just goes to show a play like that, Coach, a lot of people focus on the quarterback and the running back, making sure that gets completed, what the running back does after. A lot on the O-line to make something happen there. And, of course, not commit a penalty and kind of remain disciplined.
Well, throwing the ball to the tailback on that route, that's the last result. That's the final guy in the read if they're utilizing a concept. We used to create triangles and read from 1 to 2 to 3, and it's caught behind the line of scrimmage, so you've got to gain yards just to get to the line of scrimmage. The penalty doesn't help.
DeRuza,
halfback
pass. It is a wide receiver pass and caught up at the 40. Big play coming. Connor Thomas hits the 45, trying to get to the end zone. He's grabbed by the jersey, wrapped up and brought down. Wait for a number who threw that pass that looked like 15?
16, I think.
16. Tyler Cook, he's punting. He's playing defensive back. He's played receiver. Why not try him at quarterback? Tyler Cook completes it, and the biggest play of the night for Central Catholic.
He should throw the ball to himself next time, huh? No, big play, huge play.
66 yards.
They have to get something from this possession.
And they are right at the 20, so I will deem them in the Sarshone red zone. Reminder, get your own at Sarshone.
They got to get something, and preferably the bigger number.
4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining in this third quarter. 17-0, Lake Catholic leads Central Catholic. DeRuza, 3 receivers stacked really close on that left side. He'll keep it up the middle, flying forward, pushing forward. And that's a first down, folks.
Design quarterback run, 2 good plays back to back. Keep it up.
That'll get them first and goal at the, we'll call it the 9, looks to be about the 8.5-yard line. And the Sarshone red zone has been a common place for the Cougars. Just one trip today for Central. They'll try and make the most of it. Coach Linda Smith there, eagerly looking on at his offense, hoping they'll make the most of it.
9-7-3. Top of the press box.
Shotgun formation, running back on his hip. DeRuza. 2 receivers left and a man in motion. Back to pass, looking to his left side, pressure's on, and away the ball goes, incomplete. Good pressure from the Cougars, as Lake Catholic has certainly brought the pressure defensively tonight.
Yeah, they had nothing on the play, and he made the best decision that he could make for the situation that they're in. They're not just in the red zone; they're inside the 10-yard line, and they need to get a score. A negative play, a sack, anything like that just hurts the cause.
Sarshone red zone trip for Canton Central Catholic after the big play. It's a give inside. Pushing that touchdown look. Connor Thomas reeled back, and it's Thomas that got him here. He was trying to finish it off. So close. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from about the 2 now. Central not been shy tonight, Coach, about that motion give.
No. We've seen the jet sweep where they gave it. We've seen it where they fake it and throw off it. We've seen it where the quarterback runs it every way that you can. Power backfield.
Here we go, bunching it up. It's a give. Thomas again trying to finish what he started, reaching for the end zone.
Yes.
Got it.
Central finds it. Connor Thomas on the receiver pass. It was a 60-plus yard gain. And finally in the Sarshone red zone, Central is on the board, led by Connor Thomas.
Make this extra point, and you make it a 2-score game.
And again, the Crusaders had pushed this earlier. They were at the 6-yard line when they threw an interception that really spoiled their first half. But they bounced back on their opportunity here in the second. Third quarter, 2:51 remaining. We'll wait for this kick here. And our SARTA scoring drive coming up soon. Snap back, ball down, kick is up. It's a floater. No good. Not going to get through there. We'll take a quick break. the Crusaders on the board. You're listening and watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week live on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel.
Sharing a big family moment. Working hard from home. Relaxing with a friend. Welcome to life. Engaged, where reliable internet has never been more important. MCTV extends your family's reach with consistent speeds and whole home Wi-Fi, making life at home engaged, no matter what's thrown your way. MCTV. We go the extra smile.
What's Dad doing out there? Trying to smoke his own bacon.
Sugardale has been slow smoking and perfectly seasoning bacon for more than 100 years. So you're sure to get that same craveable taste every single time. Sugardale, leave the hard work to us.
Squib kick for Central as the Cougars plenty of room to work up to the 40-yard line and finally wrapped up and brought down. And coach, that started a scoring drive for Central to get them on the board.
6 plays and a chunk play, which helped immensely. 66-yard pass and catch by Connor Thomas. Ends in a 1-yard TD run by Connor Thomas. The extra point is no good. 6 plays, 3 minutes, 28 seconds. Total cover yards, 79. Central now on the scoreboard.
Out come the Cougars tonight. A big one for Frankie Trinetti. They were stopped on their first drive of the second half, but Bob, he's been really good tonight throwing the ball.
Yep. 15 to 26, 161 yards and a touchdown, and a lot of drops.
Pistol formation, the running back leaves, but catches a swing pass on that right side. It is Gibbons pushing the pile forward.
And that was a lateral, too.
That was almost the exact play that he didn't catch it.
They're actually allowing the quarterback to perform under his standard. I mean, he's not completing 71% of his passes here tonight, and some of that are drops. I understand that, but they're not just letting him have an all-Ohio first-team quarterback night.
Coach Linda Smith trying to make the difference with Trinetti in town, making some noise with the Cougars. Shotgun formation. Gibbons will get an opportunity to run it. Dashes to the sideline and gets that first down before it's out of bounds. So 2 straight gives. Gibbons will get these passes or runs and take some hits and get wrapped up and brought down, get back up, get another chance to run it or catch a pass.
Well, they, like I said, pregame, they run the ball for about 150 yards a game, and they throw it for about 225 yards a game. So that's in keeping with who they are.
The Central defense, as Coach noted earlier, they've caused some trouble for the Cougars, but haven't necessarily stopped them. 17-7 Lake Catholic. Dashing forward, it's Gibbons, getting thrown around, but he got thrown down past the chain, and a first down for the Cougars. Already up by 10, trying to make it more as they get close to the Sarchione red zone on the other end of the field.
Going tempo, no huddle.
To the line and a quick run there.
Yeah, Gibbons at 107 yards now.
Big night for Jimmy Gibbons. 6'1", 205, a senior this season, listed as a tight end and a linebacker, but plenty of running. Boyce, he'll get the carry now. He'll get the first down. Pacing that sideline. End zone in his eyes, but he's taken down after a fierce run at the 7.
One of multiple chunk plays for them through the course of the night.
Jonathan Stengel will hustle back out there to help out on the defensive line. Everything's got to be fast right now. Boyce to the right. This time he's driven back on a 1st and goal. He got nothing. That's the benefit, Coach, when you have 2 running backs making the difference. You can switch them in and out, get some fresh legs.
Yep. And men are, again, going tempo, not huddling, not giving Central Catholic much time to make a substitution or get into the the front and the coverage that they want to be in.
We got a Crusader down. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week live on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel. The food fight to benefit the Stark County Hunger Task Force is happening right now. Every year, it's a battle between Massillon and McKinley to see who can collect the most non-perishable food items. This year's drop-off spots include Fulton Drugs, Medicap Pharmacy, Carpe Diem Coffee, Tremont Coffee, McKinley High School and other schools in the Canton City School District, Massillon Washington High School and other schools in the Massillon City School District, 1480 WHBC, and the Mix 94.1 studios. Our finale rally is set for October 25th at Carpe Diem in Canton and Tremont Coffee in Massillon. Details and a QR code for monetary donations at WHBC.com.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Lake Catholic High School in Canton, Ohio tonight to take on the Central Catholic Crusaders. And it is 17-7 Cougars right now of Lake Catholic. We had an injured man down as Brock Abbott did exit the field under his own power. That's the end of the third, folks. 17-7, 6, as Canton Central Catholic missing that extra point. So it's 17-6. Quick update again, Mix 94-1. They've got the Yankees and Guardians tonight with high school football on 1480 WHBC. The Yankees getting the homers tonight. Juan Soto with a homer and Austin Wells with a homer. 3-1 Yankees early. Coach, fourth quarter action, an 11-point deficit for Central, and they're already paced at the red zone here. What can they do to make something happen fast with just a quarter left?
Deny them a score. Deny them a score.
Start with what's in front of you, right?
Yeah, that's exactly right. I think we've got a second down situation in goal. And we know they're going to take 3 cracks at it. They've got number 7 in the ball game, or at least he was on the field as the third quarter ended, DJ Sears. And again, he's 6'1", 235, but his presence on the field offensively suggests a run play, and he's probably going to be at the point of attack. He's done a great job all night being that lead blocker. So Central's got to buck up and deny him, and that's a tall order because that's a talented team on the other side of the field.
Lake Catholic in the Sarshone red zone here for the – is it the 4th time tonight, Bob? That correct? Fourth trip to the red zone here?
Yeah, Menor Lake Catholic does not kick the ball much. They've only attempted 5 field goals all year, and they've only attempted 16 punts. That's about 2 punts a game and less than 1 field goal a game.
Again, last season, these two teams squared off, and the final was 37-20. Very high scoring. Trinetti give to his running back. It's Boys trying to shift back to the left before he's taken down. So as Coach talked about, Central has to make a stop now. That's all they can do.
Got a penalty post play, and it's going to go against Menor, and I think it's a 15-yard variety. Little post play altercation.
We got a down man for Central, but it looks like number 11, Hunter Baus, will walk away from it okay.
This will favor Central if the penalty is indeed against Menor. Referee's discussing it. Yep, unsportsmanlike.
And again, as Coach said, came after the play, and that'll be extremely costly
That'll put them
for
back
Lake
at the
Catholic.
18.
Well, they lose the down. Now
they would, correct? Yep.
Well, they should. It was a post whistle play. So that should be 3rd down. Oh, my goodness.
Tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., Facebook, YouTube, the Saturday morning huddle. Myself and Kenny Rhoda. A big thing we'll be discussing, as it will be 3rd down.
Yep.
Coach was correct.
Got to help him. Got to help him sometimes. You know?
Yeah. Not often he's incorrect. Is he making it happen there?
My
not
wife.
in the booth, at least. Not in the booth.
Thank you.
3rd down and a long way to go as Bob set up at the 18. Trinetti. He's got the arm to make something happen. Rolls to his right. He's going to use his feet here at the 10-yard line, out of bounds.
Well done by Central. Well done. They had good coverage. They had pressure, forced him to escape away from any of the receivers that were in the route design. So he's either going to score or get tackled or get out of bounds, and he got out of bounds. But that was a positive result on that 3rd down by Central Catholic.
Tough situation here, Coach. We saw earlier Cougars had a long 4th down. I believe it was 4th and 9, and Trinetti went playmaking. He'll try to do it again here. 17-6, Lake Catholic leads Central. Trinetti, a rocket arm tonight. Plenty of playmaking with his receivers.
Sprinting out left.
Rolls to his left, sets his feet. He's got eyes on the end zone. Time to do something. Here come the Crusaders, out of bounds, and give the ball back.
Big
Canton
stop.
Central Catholic stands up, and the arm of Trinetti is silenced for now.
Big stop.
Haven't seen Coach Lindesmith get too giddy tonight.
Well, I haven't seen Central's offense go on the field. Wasn't that 4th down?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
And I haven't seen Meadow Lake's defense go on. Well, we're all messed up here.
Yeah, they had it marked 4th down before he ran out of bounds. He did, and then another play there, and our chain gang might be incorrect.
This goes back to the penalty, and
I don't think they did give him a loss. That was probably 2nd. So now it's 4th down, folks. Trinetti will get one last shot at it. 4th down and 9. Trinetti under pressure, dumps it to his running back, Boyce. Slides inside, touchdown, Lake Catholic. Not sure what happened with the downage here, but the Cougars got one last chance and took advantage.
I'm confused by the down situation, but that was great execution of a screen play. They motioned a receiver from left to right, put 3 receivers on the right. Coverage is heavy that way. The running back hides amongst the linemen, presents himself to the quarterback. He provides him with a good pass, and he walks in the end zone.
Cougars will try to make it 24-6. And if we're confused, I'm sure Coach Lindesmith's overall just not happy with the situation down there. Lake Catholic, they have taken advantage of every opportunity they've been given tonight. Extra point coming, snap back, ball down, kick is up, almost blocked, but it will flow through. So the Cougars make it 24-6 on a big 4th down touchdown for number 22, Caden Boyce. And before they get set for the kickoff, we'll take a quick break. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
CKP Heating and Cooling is the go-to name for heating, cooling, and more. Local owners Chaz and Ty want to thank the community for their business and support. For heating, cooling, refrigeration, boiler work, sheet metal, custom fabrication, and more, go with CKP. Call 330-791-3029 or visit them online at ckphvac.com.
Back here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week, Billy Beebe, Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries, after a score by the Cougars. Still sorting through what exactly happened on the what we thought was 3rd down. An extra down somewhere in there for Lake Catholic as they expand their lead 24-6. Proud to bring you high school football on 1480 WHBC for the 80th year. And a return at the 10-yard line up to the 20. Finally taken down quickly up at the 15-yard line. And I'll shoot to Bob here, who's been a part of the station and in many different capacities for years. And Bob, a true history of high school football with us here on 1480.
Yeah, I'm still trying to figure out that last sequence. The only thing I could think of is I thought the ball was going to be at the 19. They said at the 18, which, I mean, would be if it was a 15-yard penalty from the line of scrimmage. I don't know. But usually a personal foul is dead ball foul, and I don't know. That was a puzzle.
We'll get to our start of scoring drive in a second.
And you don't get the down over.
No.
Lou DeRuza give to Connor Thomas. He ducks inside for a few more yards to begin this drive for Central, which definitely will have a little more pace to it, but coach, that start of scoring drive for the Cougars.
Yeah, it's listed as 10 plays, but I think it's actually 11. Time of possession was 3 minutes 47 seconds. They total 60 yards covered. 8-yard TD pass from Trinetti to Caden Boys. Extra point by Forkins is good. Lake Catholic 24, Central 6.
Yeah, personal fouls are usually dead ball fouls, and the play counts, and then they just march off the 15 yards. You don't get the play over again. And then, like a live ball foul, yeah, the play counts, as Ohio State found out last week when they lost at 5 seconds.
Found out real quick.
Yeah.
We will choose our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game and our Sugardale key play replay in the post game, as we had another injured Crusader.
The incident happened post-whistle.
Yeah.
About 8 yards out of bounds.
Right. So, yeah, plays over, blow the whistle.
Yep.
And then, boom, march your 15, but that down still counts.
Correct.
Yeah, that was, I don't know how they explain that one.
2nd down and 6 as Central trots back out. Talk about time management here, Coach. Clock's running, 10:30, down a few scores here. Crusaders got to work fast.
Yep. They got to be who they don't really want to be. They've got to throw the ball more than they want to.
Incomplete pass there. DeRuza put it a little low, and as a receiver couldn't reel it in. Good attempt by Preston Scott. So a 3rd down and 6 coming up for Canton Central Catholic.
But a catchable ball, right?
A good try to, yeah. An opportunity there.
Minimal gain, perhaps, but still catchable, and they'd have a better down and distance penalty with the catch.
And historically on the season, when we talked with Coach Linda Smith 2 weeks ago on the Saturday morning huddle, he said maybe they don't let Lou pass it 20 times a game, but, hey, those 14 or 15 times they do are really important, and he does a great job. Double end around. Room on the left. 1st down. How about and then some to the 40, to the 45, and the 50, finally taken out of bounds. Another trick play for Central gets them the big play.
And Lou DeRuza was leading the blocking.
All hustle there from your quarterback. Yeah, you can see him as the lead blocker there.
Yep.
Going at it.
Getting somebody's way.
Hunter Boss on the carry.
33 yards.
Hey, make something happen quick, however it happens.
Yes. Chunk play. You're in this situation. You need as many of those as you can get.
DeRuza gets that offense back out there. 1st down at the 45-yard line. Quick pass to the right. Caught and dropped. I don't think it was fumbled there.
Yeah,
incomplete.
That was a pass.
So Tyler Cook, another opportunity at the catch. And the drops have been key for Central tonight. They've had plenty of them, and they have been extremely untimely.
Well, and when you don't throw the ball that often, you can ill afford a drop. You know, when you're going to throw, and it's reluctant at this particular point, you still need to get completions and catches.
Yeah, we just talked about how important DeRuza's throws are. I mean, how important are the catches by the receivers to go along with it?
Can't have one without the other.
2nd down and 10 for the Crusaders. 3 receivers right. And it's a give up the middle. Central trying to throw them off with a run here. And it's a solid gain of about 7 yards. Bob, something to add?
Oh, just that last pass that was incomplete. They were probably lucky you dropped it.
Correct.
He would have lost 4 yards.
Yeah, it would have been a negative play. We talked about that pregame. They can't afford a negative play.
9:30 remaining in this one. 24-6. The Cougars have led the entire way tonight. A lot of opportunities early for Canton Central Catholic, as Hoover has taken the lead over Lake 24-17. Perry has taken the lead over Green 21-16. Manchester expands to 32-0 over Fairless. DeRuza, a keeper. DeRuza, a 1st down,
nice
up
run.
to the 30 and still moving.
Nice run.
Lou DeRuza As the 9-minute mark hits, the Crusaders are going.
Believed in the point of attack, believed in the people blocking for him, ran downhill, ran through some tackles. Nice play.
ALCS live on Mix 94.1 radio. 3-1 Yankees still lead it. 2-1 series there after a big win for the Guardians last night. Jackson, a 20-7 lead over McKinley. Federal League standings matter there. Maslin, a 31-7 lead over Harding. DeRuza, look to his right. Now he'll step up, still looking over there. Now he'll float it. Looked like it hit the ground. We'll wait for the call.
They're marking it there.
And it's complete. Big catch for Tyler Cook.
Change of mind at the last second. Going to scramble and run for it. Sees an open guy. Delivers it a little inaccurately. Nice scoop catch. Sets up a second and makeable down and distance situation for Central. Again, clock running 8 minutes, 3 seconds.
The lefty lob there from DeRuza.
Alliteration. That's what we call that.
2nd down and 3. Quarterback keeper. 1st down.
Yeah, it is. I think he had the line to gain and then was pushed back, but they're not going to give him his forward progress. Okay.
Great job by this O-line. As Coach said, they've been used to taking their time, getting a second to catch their feet and their breath, and now they got to make something happen quickly as we've got 7:33 remaining in this one. Central Catholic down 3 scores. And we'll have to see if they decide that they want to go for 2 here now or save it for later. I imagine they'll save it. DeRuza, end around, Baus. He got that 1st down and gets popped back.
Matters loading the box. Loading the box. 7 or 8 people in the box that time prior to the snap expecting a run.
Into the Sarchione red zone. The Crusaders go. Again, that clock's moving a little bit, so they'll try to find a way to score, but keep this thing moving. We'll have our Old Carolina player of the game later. Winner of that gets a $25 gift card to Old Carolina Barbecue, and our Sugardale Key Play Replay kind of reminisce about some fun stuff we saw during this game. It's a give to that right side. Spittler gets past the 1st down marker, but not much farther.
Central needs a quick score here, too. They can't afford to take 2 minutes, to get the touchdown.
Other football this weekend on 1480 WHBC. The Buckeyes, they have a bye this week. They will be back at it with Nebraska next week against Phenom Dylan Raiola for the Cornhuskers. The Browns back at home. Quite the road trip. They return home this week against the Cincinnati Bengals, the Battle of Ohio. Sunday pregame on 1480 WHBC's 11 a.m., 1 o'clock kickoff. 6 minutes to go in this one. Central trying to find the end zone for the 2nd time today. Lou DeRuza puts Thomas in motion, gives it to Thomas, slides back inside. The Cougars almost made him pay for the end around, but you see big Jonathan Stengel leaning over his man. He made a very helpful block.
I've been looking for the play clock for 4 quarters here. They don't have one.
No, you got to watch the ref.
Might be right below us. Who knows?
No, they're usually at the ends of the
other
fields,
side, yeah.
So the quarterbacks have access to them.
3rd down and 6 for Central. Clock still ticking. 5:25 left. 3-score game. Crusaders trying to make the difference at home late. DeRuza fakes the give. Kind of gives it to that right side, but that ball was low.
Yep.
Maybe it had to be, but it's incomplete anyway. Preston Scott couldn't reel it in.
Yeah, no, it didn't have to be. He had a cushion. He wasn't going to get much after the catch, but I think he had the stick. Would have had a 1st down if he'd been able to stay on his feet.
When this one's done, stick around. We'll have stats, scores from around the area, and our Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game, our Sugardale Key Play Replay. Next week, we are live from Canton South High School. It is Northwest against Canton South to wrap up the regular season.
How many 4th down opportunities have there been tonight? How many
total?
Times? Total.
Oh, goodness.
Because it's a bunch, it seems to me.
And a timeout here by Central to stop the clock at 5 minutes and 14 seconds.
Bob called that timeout because he's going to look.
I think we're at 8.
Give Bob a second here.
because we've had 2 failed 4th downs in the first 2 possessions of this game. And I think we're at 8.
And again, next week at Canton South High School, Northwest at Canton South, we will again be live. So right at 6:45, you can tune in with us and remain with us all night long. It's getting colder, folks, so if you want to relax at home and take in some high school football, Northwest at Canton South on the 1480 WHBC YouTube channel. When you subscribe, you will get the alert that we are going live. You'll remember, sit back, relax, and take in some Stark County football. 80 years of high school football on 1480 WHBC.
Yeah, we've only had 2 punts, both by Central, in this entire game, so these are 2 teams that like to go for it.
Coach Gibbons' offense has been out there. I mean, they have been
more 4th down opportunities than any game so far,
oh,
right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
And again, you can go back and rewatch any of the games we've done this season around the Federal League, Independence, Pac-7. DeRuza stepping up on 4th down. Corner of the end zone, man. Open, and Connor Thomas.
Nice call.
Reels it in. That's Tyler Cook pulling
call.
in the touchdown. We've seen him do a million different things tonight. And the opportunity finally comes late for the junior to reel in that pass. And a good throw from DeRuza. Had to be high, had to be far, but he had a man waiting for it.
And wide open. Wide open. Blown coverage. Good call. You confused a good football team. That's a good defensive football team, but you confused them at a critical time and got the touchdown.
So Central's going to go for it now. Down 24-12. DeRuza leans to his left, pressures on, in trouble, flips it forward and incomplete.
Not open anyway.
So the Cougars really sold the pressure there, brought it heavy, and Central back on the board, 24-12 with a highlight pass. Lou DeRuza to the junior, Tyler Cook. Cook's been punting. He's been making the difference on defense. Couple nice catches, and he finally gets one in the end zone. Nice replay here. And as you said, Coach, a confusing play, and that's how you know it's confusing. A man's relaxing, wide open, waiting for the ball. 5:09 remaining in this one. Again, when we're done, stick with us. We'll have all your final stats. Our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game. And our key play replay. We'll send you on your way. And what has been a really fun game between these 2 teams and an interesting matchup as the Central community welcomed in this matchup with Mentor Lake Catholic.
The good news is, too, is Central doesn't need a 2-point play. They don't even need to make both extra points. You know, if they get 2 touchdowns and 1 extra point, they can win this thing. The scoring drive, 13 plays for Central. Took 5 minutes and 55 seconds of time off the clock. They covered 80 yards. Nice drive, great drive. 12-yard TD pass from DeRuza to Tyler Cook. 2-point conversion failed. Lake Catholic 24, Central Catholic 12.
Onside kick coming up for the Crusaders. Elijah Rossetti will kick it. It's a low one, and it barely went anywhere. It's got to go 10 yards.
The ball, you got to pick it up.
And finally, Central will pick it up, and that'll give it back to Lake Catholic. Am I correct? That didn't go far enough?
No, not even.
2.5 yards, yes. Doesn't look like that.
I don't know if they throw a flag there or if they just leave it where it be. Okay. So the Cougars will come out with 5:09, and it's kill clock time as they've got a 2-score lead, but as Coach said, it's just 2 touchdowns without the extra point.
The referees are confused because nobody picked the ball up. It just laid there. You know, Central couldn't touch it, you know, and Mentor could or not, you know.
Yeah, they're going to call a penalty.
Yeah, you're right. It's a legal procedure on the kickoff team.
.509 remaining, 24-12. The visiting Lake Catholic Cougars lead Central, and that penalty will be declined. Over on the Mix 94.1 Studios, ALCS Game 4. Yankees lead 3-2 as that one enters the bottom of the third. Guardians fighting back there. End
He's
around.
got the edge.
Peterlin looking at that first down, still on the sideline. Going to take a couple defenders, and we do have a flag down. Good night for Ace Peterlin. He's got a touchdown and then some. Bob, his stats.
Let's see.
The umpire called this penalty, so that suggests a hold.
And it will be a hold on the Cougars.
Yeah, Peterlin has 6 catches, 48 yards and a touchdown, and 1 carry that counted for 7 yards.
Yeah, that would have been his best carry of the night.
Yeah. It's coming back.
More penalties the second half.
Oh, yeah.
More on Minner.
That's number 7 on them for the game.
They need a turnover and a pick 6 or a scoop and score, because time is not on their side with 4:42 in the game.
As Coach said, just under 5 minutes to play. Chinetti in a pistol formation. Still a lot of time to make some plays, but it'll be in the hands of his running backs. Gibbons flying forward. End zone in his eyes as he hits the 20 and paces the sideline into the end zone. An exclamation point on a big night for number 6, Jimmy Gibbons. Give him the ball and watch him fly. Touchdown Cougars.
Watch the block by 7. Tight end. See him? They ran it off tackle. He pancaked his defender.
Good point out there by Coach DJ Sears. Yes, he had a play where he paced the sideline, got the ball in his hands, but really he's been a blocker tonight for the Cougars. A 30-12 lead, almost 31-12. Well, this game could finish with a similar score to last year. Our Altman Health Systems radio game of the week over on 1480 WHBC is Jackson at McKinley. Snap back, extra point. Good. So that will give an expanded lead to Lake Catholic. Over on the Sardis Stream game of the week, it is Lake at Hoover. That score by Lake Catholic will lead us into a break. You're watching the AultCare YouTube game of the week.
So what exactly is happening at the Hall of Fame Village? Find out Monday on Canton's Morning News as I sit down with Village CEO Michael Crawford. Join us at 9:05 Monday morning. Pam Cook and Michael Crawford on 1480 WHBC.
Novelis Urixville is the world leader in aluminum recycling, and they need you. They have immediate openings for general laborers, equipment operators, and various skilled trade positions. They will start you at $22 per hour or higher, and there are advancement opportunities, and Novelis offers industry-leading benefits. To apply or find out more, go to Novelis.com/careers and search Urixville. That's Novelis.com. Novelis is an equal opportunity employer.
Mentor Lake Catholic with the score there, 31-12. We'll get to your Sardis scoring drive after this kickoff. Cougars put it in the air this time over the head of the returner for Central, and that Sardis scoring drive, Coach McDaniels.
One play. 47 seconds. Total yards, 42, but it was a 49-yard TD run because of the penalty by Jimmy Gibbons. Extra point by Forkins. Good again. Lake Catholic 31, Central 12. Central with the ball. 4:22 left in the fourth quarter. Line of scrimmage, 20-yard line in the center of the field.
Crusaders take the field after they had a nice touchdown pass. Ludaruza to Tyler Cook. That made it 24-12 before Lake Catholic. Again, it was Gibbons scoring for them. Spittler getting a carry.
Pushing the
He's
pile.
not going to go down easy here, and gets a little bit of help from the O-line. Should be a whistle here soon, and finally here it comes. And Bob, again, the stats for the senior Jimmy Gibbons.
Jimmy Gibbons, let's see. Oh, yeah, 14 carries, 156 yards now, and the 1 touchdown.
Making the most of those 14 carries, isn't he?
Yeah, he's got over 10 yard per carry average of about 11.
You know what I've noticed, too, now that you can assist the runner? they don't blow that whistle as early as they used to. You know, when there's no forward progress.
Really
If it's
waiting for it there.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are, because you're allowed to assist the runner, and that's what's happening.
Shotgun formation for the senior quarterback, Lou DeRuza. Spins away under pressure, though. Thrown down hard. Big sack for Jason Cummings. And a very physical tackle there for the Cougars.
I'm not sure if that was a quarterback turning the wrong way, because he turned to his left and then
kind of spun.
Yeah, and it wasn't like a bootleg.
3-minute mark hits. Lake Central Catholic. Menor leading 31-12. They have arrived in Canton, Ohio for this mini Holy War and have led all night, and now looking to finish strong. DeRuza back to pass, shuffling his feet, dumps it, almost had it knocked down, but he gets it to Connor Thomas, who is eventually brought down.
Another flag.
Screen game has not been a friend to Central tonight, and it's been a big part of what Menor's accomplished.
We thank you for joining us here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Be sure to subscribe, 1480 WHBC on YouTube. You saw that preview, Pam Cook, Michael Crawford, Monday morning, 9:05. We will be live on YouTube and Facebook. Find out what's going on at the Hall of Fame Village. Million things to talk about, what's coming in, what's going out, funding, ideas for the future, everything. And again, if you haven't been to Canton, Ohio lately, that edition of the Hall of Fame Village is worth a look. Stop by when you get an opportunity. A tough punt, but not a bad roll. Up to the 40, we'll say the 42 or 43. We'll see exactly where they mark it. We'll take a quick break. You're watching the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week.
Get into SARTA and get SARTA Smart. Who rides SARTA? You do. You, your neighbors, coworkers, or the people behind you at the grocery store. Our riders are moms, dads, students, retirees, and commuters. To help persons with disabilities, our ProLine countywide service picks them up and takes them direct to their destination. SARTA riders tell us they appreciate and enjoy all the places we can take them and how we help the community. That's how you get into SARTA and where you get super SARTA Smart.
So yeah, they're
back
subbing.
Here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Billy Beebe, Thom McDaniels, Bob Jeffries live from Lowell Kleinfelter Field, Canton Central Catholic High School, Canton, Ohio. It is Cougar ball. Trinetti give on an end around and a dash back inside as Tyler Hribar gets his first carry of the day. That final 2-minute mark hits as a 31-12 lead will take things home for Lake Catholic. If they can just ride it out, that'll move them to 9-0 on the season. Very difficult to do. Coach, I know you were a part of some great teams, Harding, McKinley, even at Jackson, and before that as an assistant at multiple other schools. Very difficult to stay undefeated throughout the season.
Oh yeah, it's unusual when a state champion is undefeated. Most of the state champions have a loss somewhere along the line. I can't confirm that with statistics in front of me, but I know that that's often the case. But to go undefeated and win a state championship, that's a tall task.
Michael Valentino gets his first carry opportunity of the night. 1 minute remaining before Menor Lake Catholic can walk away a winner. 31-12 the score now. We'll see if that's how it finishes, as I think they thought it'd be less than that before Gibbons scored again. Trinetti rolling to his right. Time, sets his feet and dashes it into the ground, spikes it almost. And that's an interesting point there, Coach, talking about what a loss and can do for a state championship team, but that just, again, speaks to how difficult it is to stay undefeated. For Central, we talked about their early schedule was very difficult.
Yep.
They have rebounded nicely, even if they would, of course, finish out with a loss tonight. A 4-2 stretch is pretty impressive.
Yeah, it is, especially when you start 0-3. It takes character, tests the quality of your sense of team.
Clock ticking down from 45 seconds. Valentino, another carry. He hits the 10-yard line before he's hit from behind. That'll move him to 9-0 on the season for the Cougars, 4-5 for Central. 1 week to play in this high school football season. Again, Massillon-McKinley week next week. We will have a game on Friday night. We are Northwest at Canton South from Canton South High School. That's live. You can join us at 6:45. We'll get kickoff going at 7. And then the next morning, 9 a.m. to 11, we're live from Loby's Irish Pub and Grill in Massillon, Hills and Dales Road. Have some breakfast with us. And then the game, of course, the 136th meeting between the two teams. That's it. From Lowell-Klein-Felter Field, 31-12. Lake Central Catholic defeats Canton Central Catholic tonight, 31-12, the final. We will take a quick break here. When we come back, scores from around the area, stats from this one, our Old Carolina Barbecue player of the game, our Sugardale key play replay. We'll get you wrapped up and sent on your way. A quick break here.
At AultCare, we care about your well-being and the importance of being well. You deserve access to the best in healthcare. With over 16,000 providers in network, AultCare makes it easy for you to find a local provider you can trust. Our services are focused entirely on you. AultCare's team of local physicians, nurses, dietitians, pharmacists, and more are available to help you navigate the healthcare system to receive the quality care you deserve. We take your healthcare personally because you matter.
This is Brian Bailey of Old Carolina Barbecue Company. It's pigskin time in Northeast Ohio, and you know that Old Carolina is the official barbecue of football. So if you've got plans to gather at a tailgate or in front of a big screen TV, be sure your buffet line is full of hearty party food. We've got tender hand-pulled pork to make all-pro sliders and hickory-smoked deep-fried wings that will score big points with your party guests. We're covering football fans at our 3 convenient locations in Canton, Massillon, and Alliance. Order online today at oldcarolina.com.
The food fight to benefit the Stark County Hunger Task Force is happening right now. Every year, it's a battle between Massillon and McKinley to see who can collect the most non-perishable food items. This year's drop-off spots include Fulton Drugs, Medicap Pharmacy, Carpe Diem Coffee, Tremont Coffee, McKinley High School and other schools in the Canton City School District, Massillon Washington High School and other schools in the Massillon City School District, 1480 WHBC, and the Mix 94.1 Studios. Our finale rally is set for October 25th at Carpe Diem in Canton and Tremont Coffee in Massillon. Details and a QR code for monetary donations at WHBC.com.
Altman is here for you, in your community, because you matter. We're proud to be the area's first and only independent health system. We are one team, joined together and committed to one mission, to lead our community to improved health. And we've always been here, dedicated to providing you with the very best in care, wellness, education, insurance, and more. For your community and for your family, Altman is always here for you.
Wrapping things up here on the AultCare YouTube Game of the Week. Lake Catholic, a 31-12 winner over Central Catholic. Coach, before we get to stats, our player of the game brought to you by Old Carolina Barbecue and our Sugardale Key Play Replay. Your thoughts overall from this one?
I think that Central provided more opposition than Menor Lake wanted. It wasn't a running clock. It wasn't a blowout. But I also think that Central Catholic needed to play their best game of the year tonight in order to win, and they didn't do that. I think that the more talented team won. And it was going to take the best game of the season, with very few mistakes, very few penalties, and that isn't how it played out. And so they're on the short end. They have courage, and they played hard. They just didn't play well enough, especially at critical times, to win the game.
We've talked all night about the coaching connection you have with both these schools and the people within them. good coaching on both sides in different ways.
Yeah, I think so. Again, Mentor Lake is as advertised, and I see them advancing to the playoffs, certainly qualifying. They probably qualified already, and I see them advancing, pretty far. Not certain who all their competition would be.
Sure.
I don't have that memorized, but they have a lot of the right parts. They've got a guy that's willing to block in the run game. They've got a quarterback who can throw and is poised and makes good decisions. They had some of the drops tonight that they'll work to correct that on the receiving end, and they play good defense. And they're well coached. They play hard, so they've got a lot of the ingredients that make up a team that can play deep in the playoffs.
And on the other side of things, Canton Central Catholic 4-5 now. They want to finish strong at the end of the season. They've already done some really good things, and they did some good things tonight.
Well, and Central Catholic, and based on tonight's performance, they're not necessarily a team you're going to want to play in the playoffs. If they win next week and they finish with a 5-5 record, they'll be matched up against somebody who's probably pretty similar to them. But they might be a tough out in the playoffs. Again, I don't have their division competition in my memory or in my mind, so I'm not certain of that. But, they're going to play hard.
First off, our Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game. Guys, a pretty impressive night for Connor Thomas. We said his name plenty because he was really, really good tonight, throwing the ball and running with it. The final stats for Connor Thomas, 8 rushes, 30 yards. He had that touchdown run. And then receiving-wise, he had 3 catches for 81 yards. Connor Thomas is our Old Carolina Barbecue Player of the Game, the 5'10 senior, making plays all over the place, fellas. Really, really fun to watch. Our Sugardale key play replay. Sugardale, predictably delicious for a long, long time. We're proud to have them a part of our broadcast. It was that receiver throw from Tyler Cook to Connor Thomas, and that lefty throw there, Coach, that was a huge gain for them.
Yeah, it was. And he broke a tackle, 2 tackles.
Yeah, covered 66 yards.
Defender's got an angle on him.
And really fun to watch there. Tyler Cook ends up punting a little bit, playing a little bit of defense, and making that pass there as he plays quarterback for one play. Coach, our final stats on the night.
Yeah, Lake Catholic had 252 yards rushing to Central's 132. They had 169 yards passing to Central's 105, well below their average, by the way. They did total 421 total yards to Central's 237. They had 20 first downs. Central had 11. The time of possession was not as distinctly different as it was at halftime. Lake had 25 minutes and 38 seconds worth of possession, and Central had 22-22 in terms of possession. Lake Catholic with no turnovers, Central with 1. 7 penalties for Lake for 57 yards, 3 for Central for 20 yards. Individual statistics, Trinity again, 28 attempts, 16 completions, 169 yards and 2 TDs. Jimmy Gibbons had explosive runs, 14 rushes for 156 yards, so there's some explosive plays in there. 1 touchdown. Caden Boyles, 8 rushes for 56 yards and 0 touchdowns. Ace Petterlin, 6 catches, 48 yards and a TD. Patrick Radigan, 5 catches, 57 yards, no TDs. For Central Catholic, Louis DeRuza, 15 attempts, 7 completions, 39 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. Luke Spittler, 12 rushes for 46 yards. Connor Thomas, as we mentioned, 8 rushes for 30 and a touchdown. Connor Thomas was the leading receiver for Central, also 3 catches, 81 yards.
80 years of high school football on 1480 WHBC. Thank you to Bob Jeffries on stats tonight, making sure everything went smooth there. Coach Thom McDaniels, we're always happy to have a Hall of Famer in the booth with us here. Video production crew, they brought it to you. Casey Claxon of Claxon Communications, our head man here, production assistant Xavier Bissett, camera operators Evelyn Heyer and Sam Fronsman. Billy Beebe signing off, saying it is always an honor to broadcast high school football for the one, the only 1480 WHBC.
The AultCare YouTube Game of the Week is brought to you by SARTA, Friends and Family Credit Union, CKP Heating and Cooling, Altman Health System, Sugardale Meats, Old Carolina Barbecue, Sarshone Automotive Group, Menchie's Brothers, Novellus, Papa Gyros, and AultCare, because you matter.